Hmm.
I have a question. Does anybody know the button that like makes what the fuck is it called? It makes like the top of the screen, like the browser part, disappear.
F11.
Is it F11?
You're fucking nice, Josh.
Indeed, it is F11.
I mean,
It
I don't
makes
know
your
if
browser go full screen.
It does. Oh, you're a hero. I need to remember that. Okay, cool. Thank you. That helps a lot.
awesome.
I literally never do that.
Well, it helps when you're streaming. You don't want everyone else to
Yeah,
see your shit.
no doubt.
That's
I don't want
true.
them
I
to
guess
see
you don't want to. They don't want. You
all
don't
the
want to
tabs.
see all your bookmarks and your tabs.
I
and...
typically have that shit hidden anyway, but yes, I don't want them to see anything else.
It's like 30 tabs of like r/auto Draco files.
What? What's an
Please
auto
do not
Draco? What?
Google it if you don't know what it
I
is. I will
don't.
just tell you.
Auto Draco.
Yeah.
I have a solid guess. It sounds related to Dragon's fucking cars.
Yep.
Okay.
I've seen
I
some fetishes where it's like, I really don't get it, but whatever. That is one where I'm just like, I really don't get it, but fuck this. Like,
I really don't get it, and I don't support this.
yeah.
Like, you have found the limits of you do you.
Pretty much.
Like this, you don't do you.
I have so many giant monsters at my disposal.
We ready for recap?
Giant bullshit.
are you ready to recap?
No, are we ready? No, I ain't doing it. The guy with notes is, because I'm still irresponsible.
Still
It must be nice to
irresponsible.
just coast through and live in the moment and/or not pay
Just
attention.
own the fact that
It
you're
causes me lots of
irresponsible
anxiety.
and just be like, I'm irresponsible. Everybody knows this, so I'm not recapping. Can't blame me.
I can only coast on that for so long.
Exactly, Josh. Now you've caught up.
Okay, so over the past couple days to week time frame, our adventurers have spent an exorbitant amount of time in the Underdark. They went through and met several new friends, killed most of them, managed to find the people they were looking for, kill them, take their bombs, escape, kill lots of monsters along the way, collect some valuable information and bodily fluids and/or parts, and they then killed a giant snake on the way out, took its skin and made snakeskin balloons out of them to float across a giant underground lake. Kiri explored around using her sick wings, going north, south, east, and west to check out the entire cavern, before finding a waterfall at one end that led straight up, a waterfall at the other end that went straight down into death. There was the way that we came from, and then the way that would soon to become to known the way out that led off in a side tunnel. The party went down that direction, but was encountered by a tentacled monster beastie type thing from the deep down depths of the Underdark, where the beastie got a hold of Skulker, tried to drag him down into the depths uh, being before the monster was fended off by fire, not understanding what it was and afraid of it, not having encountered it before. The party then made their way to the tunnel leading out of the underground lake, where they followed the tunnel up for around a day, where they popped out into a misty forest. Kiri, with her keen senses and sense of direction, figured out that they had popped up north of Croydon in a forest as part of the trees.
Oh yeah, we're above ground.
The party decided to head south towards Croydon, where they discovered a statue of Melandru, the goddess in the middle of the forest, in a clearing. There were there was it was like in the middle of an island, in the middle of water, in the middle of a clearing, in the middle of the forest. So there was I have written down here that there's jugs around the island. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but okay. The island in the lake looks like it's black, and there was thick tendrily type stuff. There's a dark mist around the island, generally ominous speaking. And there was a unicorn that was on the island with black veins coming from its mouth and eyes, and it looked kind of corrupted. The unicorn had labored breathing and generally looked ominous.
I'd like to clarify, it's on the shore of, like, the lake. It's not actually on the island.
Oh, it's not on the island. It's on the shore of the lake. That's the body of water between us and the island with the statue on it.
Statue of Melandru.
Darrow approached the unicorn tentatively to try to check up on its status, and healed it, and Skulker decided to cast Sleep and make sure that the unicorn was in fact asleep and not playing dead. And that is where we left off. So the unicorn is asleep, has some amount of healing done to it.
I don't know.
Staring at it.
Did we get confirmation that it's asleep? Because there's 3 nat 1s in that 5d.
It's asleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's what's up. I think I'm currently next to the unicorn, and the other two are back away from it. Swear to God, if you throw a monster voice on right now, I'm gonna freak the fuck out. Don't do that.
Nope.
My name is Pegasus von Schitz. You have awakened me from my slumber.
So, everything's okay. This is just some DJ Bot forest ambiance. So yes, you've stumbled across this unicorn. Seems to be in pretty bad shape. Can't really be too sure what's going on with it. None of you have very much experience with unicorns, if any at all. The black veins are definitely suspicious. They're coming from the corners of its mouth and its eyes. Since it has been put to sleep, its labored breathing is a little bit easier, but you can still tell that this unicorn is in some kind of physical distress.
Okay. Around what time of day is it?
It is midday.
It's midday. Okay. Okay, I used a first level spell. I see that. So I don't know much about unicorns. Damn it. I really, really wish I had Detect Evil and Good right now. That would be so clutch. But I'm coming to realize the curse of the cleric is that you have all the spells, but you never prepare the right ones.
Or the DM secretly checks what you have prepared and then plans something. I wish I put in that much effort, but I genuinely don't. Too much work. I will just plan, and if you guys are prepared, great, and if not...
Right, well, we came straight out the Underdark, so I'm still in battle mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the unicorn's sleeping. How does the water look? Like I know I see in my notes that there's like this kind of dark, gloomy mist coming out, and that um,
So the
did we
forest
figure
itself.
out if Melandru was like a bad goddess?
Nope. The forest itself has this like silvery white mist kind of like clinging to the floor to it in all areas. It's just like present throughout the entirety of the forest. Here, we see that the mist, like approaching the edges of the pool, so to speak. I guess we'd call it a pond. Pond is a 20-foot radius. The island in the middle is like a little bit less than 10-foot radius. Um, so the mist at the edges kind of gives way into this black, almost like smoky kind of stuff. And you can see that as mist approaches the pool, it becomes this sort of like twisted version of what it once was. You stand here for a couple minutes, and like as you're sort of studying the unicorn, like studying the pool, uh, you see that like the water is progressively becoming like darker and darker. It's approaching almost like an oily appearance, and you see it has like this like violet sheen beginning to form on top of the water.
So do I know anything about Melandru?
Yes, she is the goddess of life and like earth.
Okay, it's not
Actually,
like
no,
the
excuse me.
goddess of
She is
life
the
and death.
goddess of.
It's like the
She's
goddess
the
of
goddess of
good
earth and
things.
nature.
Okay. And the mists are coming from the water or from the island?
The mist is just like present throughout.
Well, does it look like the corruption? You said that it's getting darker and darker. Is the corruption spreading from the central island, or does it look like it's kind of just happening all throughout the water?
Looks like it's kind of happening all throughout the water. There doesn't really seem to be any particular like point of origin for it.
Okay. I. Uh, okay. I'll back up. What's the range on this? 30 feet. I'll back up 20 feet from the unicorn and cast thaumaturgy, which I'll
Mm-hmm.
use it to cause harmless tremors in the ground 30 feet in front of me. So basically, inside the ground of the lake and underneath the unicorn for a minute.
Okay.
Seeing if, I guess wake it up or try to get whatever's in the water to be like, whoa, this is weird.
I'll also put something in the Discord chat, just a picture. This is just a screen cap from the Google Doc I did at the beginning. So that's a picture of Melandru for you. She is the goddess of life. I fucked up because there's kind of two domains where each of one of the goddesses could have taken it. I mistook where I put her. But Melandru is goddess of life and earth.
Okay.
None of the gods are inherently evil that you're aware of. The tremors that you send through the ground, fellow horned animal. Let's see. So you see the pool, like the surface of it kind of ripple, and like this purple sheen forming on top of the dark water kind of catches the light in an interesting way. And the unicorn seems to stir a little bit, but the magic of the spell is still keeping it asleep. It wasn't shaken violently enough to really wake it up.
Skulker, how long does your sleep spell last?
I don't know. Usually they get woken up before I get to find out.
You want to go wake it up? Or, we could try to just keep walking. That's also a possibility, and just say, meh.
And leave it? It's
And
clearly
yeah,
in
That
pain.
is totally an option.
I mean, what are we gonna do? Carry it with us?
Maybe if Scatha was here, but
Who?
How strongly attached do y'all feel to this unicorn that we don't know, that looks like it's sick and/or dying and/or corrupted?
I'm strongly attached to not leaving things to die painful death.
Okay, so you want to coup de grace it and put it out of its misery? Just throw a bolt through its head?
No, there's clearly a bigger problem here. And this is a
Well,
forest.
maybe the unicorn's the source of the problem, and if we kill it, it'll go away.
But you don't know that, so you're just gonna go killing things until you find the source of the
I'm
problem?
not going to go killing things. You're the one who said you wanted to put it out of its misery.
I didn't say I want
Oh,
to put it
cool.
inside of its misery.
I thought you were assuming I would do it.
Would you like to?
No.
Okay. Then what would you like to do with it? Would you like to carry it back with us? Would you like to wake
I'd
it
like
up
to-
and see what it does? Would you
I'd like to watch
like
you
to try to
take
restrain
out
it so
more.
that we can take a long rest and I can prepare some spells that might be able to heal the thing?
That last one's actually not a bad idea.
That sounds like the best idea I've had so far.
Okay. So how would y'all recommend we try restraining this thing? Just drag it out of the water and hog tie it?
I mean,
well, it's not in the water. It's
It's on the
just
shore.
lying down on the shore.
Well,
I can.
is
she
it
means
is
one
the
away from the
a part of its body within 5 feet of the water surface?
Yeah, it's pretty much right along the shore.
Right. So I'd like to drag it 5 feet away from the water surface, and hog tie it.
All right, roll me a strength
Let's
check.
see. Do I have
group strength check.
rope?
We have rope.
I definitely have rope.
Well, I don't have rope amongst my inventory.
I do.
Let's see. Kiri is +2 strength.
Yikes! Nice roll.
Oh wait. Yeah, no difference. Isn't it nice when you click the wrong button and fate is like, nah, I got you, bruv. It's still the same luck.
So, tell me the order of operations you're trying to go about doing this in.
Well, Kiri rolled first, so I'm assuming upon the idea of let's get it away from the shore and tie it up, she's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do that, and goes over and starts dragging it.
No.
And say, okay, sure.
I know better than that. I am a hunter.
Last.
I know that you definitely want to tie that before you ever try to move it. Unless you want to get hurt.
Okay, so then Kiri,
Wow,
rolling
someone
first,
doesn't
would
trust
tie it
me.
up first, and then
I
attempt
see
to
it.
drag it away, and then we would go Darrow, Skulker in that order, piling on, seeing that it's that she's assumably having difficulty.
How big is this unicorn?
How rude.
The size
It
of a
is the
horse.
size of a horse.
So does it fit in a 5-foot box?
No.
Horses are large.
So
I-
as you all start helping out Kiri with this task, the unicorn's eyes open up, and you see that its eyes have this look of exhaustion to them, and they're slightly clouded over, and you hear in your minds telepathically, "Please, I am dying. I need your help."
And I give
Die
a
faster or live?
Okay,
sly
okay,
look.
I got a plan for this. Zone of truth.
Okay.
So I'll drop that and stare at it and say, "Are you evil?"
He has to fail the save first.
Mm.
I would hope he's at disadvantage, because Jesus Christ.
Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time its turn or starts its turn there must make a charisma saving throw.
It's not even trying to. It is giving way to your magic. It says it's talking to you, and the whole time, even its telepathic voice is like very like labored and faint, almost like he's like murmuring in your mind. Can I speak normally so I don't have to do the whole like
Yes.
raspy voice thing? Okay. So he tells you that the spring has been defiled with dark magic. An enemy of the forest, or perhaps the gods, he is not sure. He then says he drank from the spring before the corruption became visible, and is now being eaten from the inside out by the evil magic. This dark magic has severed his connection to Melandru, and thus sealed his magic away. If the spring is cleansed, its water can undo the corruption. Melandru left her ancient followers a ritual to cleanse the spring in case it was ever corrupted. Unfortunately, those followers have since long died out, and only creatures with hands can perform the ritual. The unicorn looks down at his hooves and kind of like sighs a little bit, like a long labored sigh.
Here, I'll give you a hand.
The unicorn Nani? You didn't jack the thing off?
No, I just said it needs hands. Is jacking off the ritual?
It's a female unicorn. So the unicorn like sort of like lazily like gestures its head towards the island and says like, the instructions lie at the base of the statue. Be careful.
Oh, it's been telling the truth, right?
Yes.
Yes. Darrow and I look at the flighted one. The flying one. Bird person.
Hey, Kiri.
Hi. I can do that.
Yeah, can you do the fly thing, pretty please?
As long as there's enough room for me to go there and like not touch any of the evils, yes. I'm doing it.
Yeah, when we were looking at it, he said that it was kind of like a 10-foot wide island, and I'm guessing the statue's like maybe 5 foot wide, so there's like a small strip around the outside.
I shall go forth and fetch these instructions.
Or I could
So I'll do like a
to it.
rough sketch
my
so we just have
grappling
something to
hook.
work with. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this might not be precise, but I'll work with me. Granted, are any of my drawings on these maps ever precise?
I mean, they never
They
say
are workable.
They never say not to scale on them, so I've always assumed they're 100% to scale.
Hey, you know what? This is Connor's world. Whatever he makes is therefore scale.
Got him.
The speed of light varies by drastic amounts between each square to account for different measurements.
Pretty much. Alright. So, our green ring represents the island in the middle. There are, Kiri, as you're flying closer, you can see there are grasses on it. They haven't been touched by any of the mist. There's kind of like the blackish sort of mists, like lapping at the ground from the like edges of the island from the pool, but the ground itself doesn't seem to be inherently like harmful. The grass on it is kind of starting to look wilted and dead, but there's a statue and 3 jugs resting at the base of the statue that you can see.
Oh, there's 3 jugs at the base of the statue.
Is there anything else that I see that generally look like the instructions, or is it just the 3 jugs?
The closer you get to the statue, you can see that there's like an inscription at the base of it.
Oh, word! I was about to start attempting to draw like a ratchet ass unicorn and drop it on the side. Okay, cool.
Anzu's sticking back with these lads back here, or you want them with you?
I want him to stay over there for now.
Okay.
Hey, Skulker.
So I'm not forcing you to land, but I'm just putting you here for reference sake.
You think it's possible for you to be able to chuck that grappling hook over there to get it stuck in the ground on the island, or maybe against the base of that statue, and then we can stake it onto the ground here so there's kind of a rope bridge between the two?
Are you planning on acrobating your way, tightrope walking? Do you
No,
think?
it's a backup plan.
One, that sounds like a horrible mistreatment of my delicate weapon.
It's a grappling hook. Isn't that what they're supposed to be done?
Grappling.
Not the way I use it. Two, that's not how tightropes work. I know.
Okay, well,
We don't
sorry.
have the like foundation to do. Honestly. Question for DM: are there like
Yes, sir.
trees? Is there tree cover close to and above this lake?
No, you're in a bit of a clearing right now. I'd
Damn.
say I can draw the tree line for you if you'd
No,
like.
it's okay. I can't Spider-Man. It's okay. Like even
Sorry,
with
Peter.
prep of like climb
You'll
up
have to
the
try again
tree
next time.
and hook it and then. Turning
Can
back to Daryl,
I-
trust me, I want to use this grappling hook for non-combat purposes, but it just ain't happening.
Can I get close enough to the inscription to see it without necessarily landing on the ground? Because I'm not sure quite yet whether it's safe.
You can roll me a perception check.
Sure can.
Yeah. The sun breaks through the trees, and you can actually get a really solid look at what's written on the what's written on the inscription at the base of the statue. I will read it out loud, but I'm also going to put it into the chat log here, just so it's easier for you all to keep track of.
Okay.
So there's 3 different blocks of the text. My sacred spring is a gift unto you, my faithful. Should evil ever profane it, I gift unto you the method to restore it. That is the first block. Second block. Recall the fable of the 8 archdruids. Once upon a time, 8 mighty druids resided within this forest, within 3 houses. 5 were women, 3 were men, and together they made 8. In the end, all 8 found love in pairs. 4 of the druids settled within one house, 4 settled within another, and the 3rd house was left empty, reclaimed by the forest. That is the second block of text. Third block. At my feet rest 3 blessed vessels. Fill them with the profaned water in the manner of the 8 druids, and speak my name with hope in your heart. Okay. So, you turn your gaze to the 3 jugs resting at the base of the statue now. And you see that they look like they're made of simple clay, but they haven't really seemed tarnished by, if this spring really is centuries old, these jugs do not seem centuries old. Well made, magical, who knows. But, so...
I assume Kiri, like, read these instructions out to us?
Can you hear that part?
She might have yelled them out over the lake.
Like, that...
If you would be able to hear me, yes, I would probably read them
30
out.
feet away, I fucking hope so. I'm not that old.
Yeah, I mean, you could speak. It's not too noisy here. They'd be able to hear you at, like, above average talking volume, but not yelling.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
So,
it's clearly a riddle.
would you guys prefer more text or a drawing for like the what's it called, for the jugs.
Sure.
That was. I think you understand.
No.
Yes.
No, the Discord cut me out. I said I'm not sure. And
I just heard
I've,
sure.
I know. I've set it to a different threshold, and it only caught like. Sorry.
Blood just pouring from.
Mathematical answer. A or B? Yes.
All right. So we'll go with the drawing for now. These are not to scale.
Clearly. Nothing's been to scale.
So we have our 3 jugs.
Yes.
One of them. How big is? Oh wow! I need to make this font way bigger. Size 56.
Oh, and not only are there 3 separate jugs, but there are 3 separate sizes, aren't they?
Yes. So if these were to scale, you'd see the one on the left here is the largest, the one on the right is second largest, and the one in the middle is the smallest. Kiri, could you make me just like a straight intelligence check, please?
Okay. Sure.
I would not fear.
I would fear.
I would fear. Okay. Are you communicating with the party this whole time?
Yes.
All right. So
She
you're
didn't
calling
roll
out
that
like
low
there's
on intelligence.
looks like there's numbers marked on these drugs or whatever. Or like would
That
you?
sounds like an
I don't know.
investigation check.
What? There's clearly numbers on it. Like, Josh, I don't need an investigation check to tell us the numbers. Yeah, I would definitely.
Smoker, roll me straight intelligence also.
I would definitely like be telling them whatever I find or see.
Shit. Okay. Where's my fucking spells? Damn you.
What? Spells? What?
Lulu doesn't know what's going on. She's
No
still
snuffle.
like, there's
Noted.
another animal with a horn?
Guidance. I'm myself. Intelligence. That's
You didn't need it. You didn't need it.
Rolling a d4. 20.
So,
What matters?
Skulker, you're like pretty sure. Kiri, you kind of could. You're clearly aware that like one is biggest, one is smallest, etc. Skulker,
You
you're
look at
kind of like
Darrow, and he's
those
already
might be-
squatted with a stick and drawing equations and writing notes and drawing shapes and sizes and like
I'm not the figure outer.
Looking at
I'm
these
just
drugs,
seer.
you can tell the one on the left holds 8 gallons, the one on the right holds 5 gallons, and the one in the middle holds 3 gallons. These are literally the capacities marked on the sides of the drugs.
Oh, this is a math.
You can know with certainty that that's what these numbers mean.
So it was 8, 5, and
3.
3. Okay.
We're gonna freeze frame
Do
for a second,
any-
so
Okay.
like passage of time doesn't inhibit your ability to solve the riddle.
Cool.
Yeah, sure. Do
'Cause-
any of the jugs look more tarnished or older than the others?
They all appear equivalently like
Nice
aged,
question.
which is not very aged.
Okay.
I want to call them young jugs, but I feel like there's something wrong with that, so I'm not going to.
Nothing.
I need like a fucking dry erase board right now. God damn it. And do I have a big eraser? Somewhere maybe in the. Oh, I have an arts and crafts box.
I've got the dry erase board right next to me, but I only rolled a 14, so.
No, I mean, well, I don't know how much data wants to share with you.
Is there
So I'm
anything
gonna-
already in these drugs?
They're all completely empty.
Okay.
I will read the riddle one more time, and then I'm going to count to 10, and we're going to unfreeze frame. I won't count to 10 out loud, though.
Duh.
Motherfucker, where's my goddamn fucking eraser?
Unless you're gonna add emphasis that helps us, I don't need it read again.
I know what I need to do. I've done riddles like this before. I just need something that I can constantly write and erase things.
Pencil? That's
What
what
if I
pencils are
read it
for.
as a divine being? Would that help?
Sure.
Oh,
My
it's one of
sacred
these
spring is a
fuckers!
gift unto you, my faithful. Should evil ever profane it, I gift unto you the method to restore it.
Alright, I'm muting. Oh, it's over.
Oh.
That's a divine being from, like, maybe Invader Zim.
Found it. Okay. Okay.
So, okay, we need to make 4 gallons, and we need to put it, I assume, in the 8-gallon and the 5-gallon jugs.
Correct.
Hmm.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay. We put. Okay. Kiri,
Stop.
step
I
1.
I can help.
Would
We
you
are
like
breaking freeze frame now.
Would you like
I-
to get over there, Skulker?
No, I can mage hand. It's less than 30 feet away.
Okay. The 2 of you, somebody grab the smallest jug.
Hold on, but these are
fill it to
empty.
the top.
But the water's black and stuff. Are we supposed to use this
Okay.
black stuff?
Skulker, mage hand. Mage hand. The 3-gallon jug. Fill it to the top. Take it to the 5-gallon jug, the middle one, and pour all the water out into the 5-gallon jug.
Okay.
So Mage Hand will only work for the 3-gallon jug full, in case anyone is wondering.
10
Yeah, that'd be 6 pounds.
I'm doing
Yeah,
whatever
3-gallon
he's telling
jug
me to
full of
do.
Water is around
BT
6
does.
pounds. Because a
Actually,
gallon's
no.
around 2 pounds.
Oh, is Google wrong?
I mean, what does Google say a gallon weighs?
1 liquid U.S. gallon of fresh water weighs roughly 8.34 pounds. So
Shit.
actually, you
I
wouldn't even
can't
be able to
even-
lift the smallest one with Mage Hand.
Okay. Okay, so
Well, depending on how much time you're willing to take, I could fill a flask and dump it in.
but then you wouldn't be able to lift the. Do I have any way of moving water?
Sorry, water skin.
That would still require you dumping your hands into the. Otherwise, you'd have to do this. Carrie,
Yes.
your rope. Take
My
your
rope.
rope, tie it around the jug as some kind of a harnessy type thing, so that you can lower the jug into the water and back out without having to submerge your hands into the water. See, you smell what I'm stepping in?
Yes. Smells bad. But okay.
That's a new phrase.
Can I do
So you
that?
can all see that there are like some various like bugs like around the clearing or whatever, and some of them are like landing on the surface of the water, and they aren't actually like being vaporized or dissolved or anything negative like this.
Okay. I go up to the edge of the water and take off my shoe first, and then put my foot in.
Oh god.
Alright, first of all, I'd like to say you're a sick fuck because you're gonna put a wet foot back in your boot. Anyway, how long do you keep it in the water for?
A minute at first.
A full minute. What if I told you after 6 seconds you take 3 necrotic damage?
Okay, then I would pull it out as soon as I start feeling pain.
Okay.
Would you say 3?
Yes.
I
That being said, it was not until you had been 6 seconds and like foot fully submerged. Like breaking the surface of the water, being under there for a couple seconds did not.
Okay, yeah, Carrie, the water hurts. Definitely do the rope thing first.
Okay. I will attempt to do the rope thing.
Skulker, you think you can help her out with your mage hand?
I mean, I can assist for 10 pounds worth.
Maybe just tying the rope around the jug as a type of harnessing type deal.
If the rope weighs less than 10 pounds, yes.
Oh my fucking god. It does.
It'll be okay. Don't worry about the weight for that much.
I proceed to do what he says. I proceed to type the rope around the jug and attempt to move the jug and grab some water out of the lake with it.
The unicorn's breathing becomes more and more labored and drawn out.
Okay, we're running out of time.
I do everything he tells me to do in order.
Okay, Mr. DM, sir, does the rope harness work successfully to be able to hold the jug, submerge it in water, and pull it out with water inside of it?
Yes.
Okay. Kiri, take.
It did cost
3-gallon
24
jug.
seconds of tying, though.
Okay, Kiri, take the jug and fill the 5-gallon jug with the 3 gallons.
Done.
Then refill the 3-gallon jug and fill the 5-gallon jug until it's at the top, but don't pour all the water out. You should have 1 gallon left in the 3-gallon jug.
Done.
Okay. Dump out the 5-gallon jug.
Dumping.
Okay. Put the 1 gallon from the 3-gallon into the 5-gallon.
Doing
No,
it.
into the 8.
Oh, into the 8. Oh shit! I said that. So there's already 1 gallon in the 5-gallon.
That's okay. We can move the 5 into the 8.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then we put the 5 into the 8. So there's 1 in the 8.
Yes.
Okay. You have to do that process a bunch of times.
Doing a process.
No, whoa, what? Skulker in chat.
Skulker has it all figured out, but you.
Okay.
As soon as Darrow says, "All right, we're gonna do that a bunch of times," Skulker's like, "Just stand. No, we're
You're
gonna."
listening to steps like, yes, of course, perfect, and then he says that, and you just look at him like, what? Like,
Andy?
I start listening to Skulker.
Yeah, just fill
Oh,
the 3. Pour the
That's
3
a
into
great
the 8.
idea, Skulker.
Skip.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's 1 in the 8 right now. So fill the 3 back up and pour the 3 into the 8. There's
Pouring.
now 4 in the 8.
Yes.
And then repeat most of that on the 5.
Doing it.
Right. So we fill the 3, pour it into the 8. So with 1 bucket fill, the 8 has 4 in it.
Mm-hmm.
So if we fill the 5 with 3, there's no way to measure out 1.
Yeah, there is. We just did it. We didn't touch the 8 until we had 1 gallon measured.
Oh, word. So then we have to fill the 5 up once with the 3, fill the 3 up again, pour it into the 5 so that there's 1 left in the 3, empty out the 5,
Yup.
put the 1 that was left in the 3 into the 5, and then fill the 5 up again once from the 3, so there's 4 in each. Then
Done.
empty out the 3rd and
Done.
then empty out the 3-gallon and put them all back at the foot of the statue. So there should
Doing
be
it.
4 gallons in the 8, 4 gallons in the 5, and none in the 3.
Done.
At this point, I'm just gonna have the mage hand like pointing what gallon goes where.
Done. I'm just moving things. I'm doing whatever you tell me to do.
alright, you have the 4 and 4. Tell me what you do.
You have to put them back at the foot of the statue.
Yes.
All 3 of them.
And then
I
I
say her name.
I'm saying her name
Jumanji!
with hope in my heart.
You gotta sell me on it.
Oh my god.
Say her name.
Melandru.
And like, as the last syllable of the name leaves your tongue, you see there's kind of like a ripple that like works its way from the center of the island out towards the edge, and like the purple like sheen that had been forming on the water is kind of like dispersed with this ripple. And you see over like the course of the next like 2 minutes, the water goes from being like a murky black to sort of just crystal clear, and the darkness leaves the water in the form of like sinking deeper into the soil. Like, it doesn't evaporate off, it like goes into the ground. like beneath the lake.
I
The
take
water
it
is
that
now
this ritual
crystal
needs to be
clear.
done from time to time because the poison comes back.
Give the unicorn some water to drink!
Oh, that's a great idea.
The unicorn is no longer breathing at the moment. Its breath literally just stopped as the pool went clear.
Put it in his mouth.
I'm gonna push the unicorn into the lake, but leave its head above the water.
Nothing is really happening.
Okay, I'm gonna start splashing water in the unicorn's face. And I'm also going to use the cantrip Spare the Dying.
So the unicorn's breath returns very shallowly. Shallowly? I don't even know.
Yes.
Shallow breathing. Like, very faint. But splashing the water on the unicorn actually does nothing. You can see that, like, the veins that were, like, black around the mouth and eyes are kind of starting to, like, spread their way further down.
He needs to drink it.
I take a cup out from my bag and open the unicorn's mouth and tip its head up and start pouring water down its throat.
Skulker, Darrow, Kiri, roll me Constitution saving throw.
Oh lord.
Excuse me?
There is a dazzling flash of light that bursts out from the unicorn as the water is poured down its throat. You all manage to either blink or just, like, take it like a G. None of you are blinded as a result of this. You do kind of see, like, that sort of, you know, like the electric blue, like, after image of, like, looking at the sun or whatever.
I skitter back and hiss.
Your vision is, like, lightly obscured but not debilitating in any way. And you see the unicorn sort of, like, and, like, the sunlight, like, breaks through the, like, the clouds above as, like, it catches this golden mane, and you see it's, like, shaking water off of itself as it, like, rises from the ground. And what's it called? You see, like, the droplets in the air. I don't know. Like, if it were slow-mo, you'd see, like, droplets, like, catching the sunlight, like, all this other shit. Very, like, picturesque.
It's having a Baywatch moment.
Yeah, exactly. That was a perfect word for what I was looking for. Baywatch moment. Give
That's
me
what I'm here
just
for.
a moment, please. So I can get this goddamn Jeopardy music out of my ears.
Thank God.
So when you said none of you guys are blinded, for some reason my head filled in the gap of for the rest of the campaign.
Hey, who knows? We still might yet get some kind of a blessing from Unicorn.
To be blinded for the rest of the campaign.
A level? Ah!
Now because you said
Unicorns are
that,
pretty
no.
magical, but I don't know if they're that great.
They're not as magical as what was that? How did we get our first level?
The water at the other
Drinking
temple?
Water with Brother
Yeah.
Menlo.
Yeah! You're telling me a unicorn is less magical than that?
Well, I mean, we might, maybe if we drink from this lake also, we might get something. But that would require you to have the intelligence to put one and one together, that drinking from that water meant that you gained a level, and I think last time you said that you still hadn't put that together.
That requires me to put the intelligence together that water's good for me, given how much alcohol I drink.
Yeah, exactly, so.
So, the unicorn, you hear its voice now very, like, strong and, like, powerfully in your mind. And it's, like, female unicorn voice, which I, not gonna lie, I wouldn't have the faintest idea how to imitate. So when I'm projecting my voice, it's not, like, a very spacey voiced unicorn. But it's just like, "Thank you, travelers. You have saved me and purified this holy spring. Wildlife has drank from this spring for many years and has actually sustained a large portion of the forest for hundreds of years. The first followers of Melandru drank from this spring. You may drink from it as well. It will bring you no harm. It is completely cleansed now.
That link is the Baywatch moment.
I'm gonna hold off
I
on that.
believe my lady has seen fit to provide you with a reward. And it, like, looks over back at the statue. And as you all turn to look at the statue, you see there are 3 sort of items in its arms.
I'm still at the statue island thing.
How deep does this water look?
Not too deep. Maybe like 10 to like 12 feet deep at its deepest points.
Okay, I'll, what kind of armor do I wear?
Chainmail? Scalemail? Something with a 16.
I have a chitin breastplate.
I'm already drinking it.
So
You're drinking
I'll,
water?
Yeah.
I'll take
This
off
is the
my
most...
other shoe and swim across to the statue.
A freaking unicorn told me to drink some water, right?
Yeah,
You
I'm
said
not
you
only
could
just
if you
drinking
wanted
in it,
to.
I'm bathing in it.
One at a time. What?
He said you could if you wanted to. So, as this water, like... Have you ever smoked weed, Josh?
Yes, I have.
So you know when you're like really stoned, and you like the ill cotton mouth, and like you drink something cold, and it feels like the Nile rushing down your throat.
Yes.
Like this water is like the most like crystal, pure, cool, refreshing, like cleansing water you've ever drank in your life. Like you almost feel like your liver is like recovering from just years of abuse with every sip that you take.
I filled my water skin in flasks with it.
The unicorn sees you doing this and it says, "This water will cure you of any disease or ailment you are suffering from. However, it needs to be drank directly from the spring, otherwise it does not have this effect."
I filled just the water skin with it.
It'll still probably taste good, though.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
good-ass water. It just might not be magical anymore.
Worst case, placebo effect, souvenir.
That being said, disease and more of like a sickness kind of thing. Like it's not actually like reversing the cirrhosis of your liver. Just for clarification.
Does it cure my mental health though?
Does you find some water like that, you let me know.
Does this water
Andrew is
cross
apparently biased.
Does it make me stop having daddy issues?
Nothing like that.
This water doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier.
Would we like to learn about our items?
Yes, please. Still standing on this island.
It's a weird way to say levels.
Okay.
Lay it on us.
There are 3 items in the arms of this statue.
Yeah, but what
There's
does everyone
a
else
pendant,
get?
a quiver, and a dagger. So let me get text. Because I can tell you out loud what each of them do, but I know that'll just result in things becoming obscured.
Well,
I swipe all 3 of them with Mage Hand.
You're not even on this island.
Mage Hand, 30 feet!
so
I'm joking.
I'm in the process of swimming over to the island because 1, I get to drink along the way. 2, seems like a cool idea. 3, want to check out the items. I get there and they're all gone.
I'm joking. That's no.
Where'd they go?
You could roll perception. Or what is it? What do you contest? Is it perception or investigation?
Well,
So there's the quiver of Melandru.
See, DM gets it. He knows to ignore this. This isn't actually happening. I'm not. This is like when I play a character evil, but like don't save it, and then redo the quest regular. Like, I just wanted the achievement. For the memes.
That's gonna be on your gravestone, isn't it? Did it for the memes. Elaborately
There's the
stage your
amulet.
death, have a funeral, show up with a camera.
Amulet pendant. Same deal.
Holy shit! That's broken.
You know
Yeah,
me. I'm a fan of giving out strong magic items.
I don't need that
So I can
pendant.
always just make the monsters stronger. Isn't that right, guys?
Totally.
That's exactly what we did in our
An
other
arms
game.
race. I like this. Fight broken with broken. The Blizzard way.
If you constantly break everything, and you don't buff anything, you just break other things.
Exactly.
Damn,
Or nerf.
I took Warcaster and I could have just had a pendant do it for me?
Same.
Oh, you took Warcaster as well?
Indeed.
Ooh.
There's only 1 minute, so if I really feel like spiting the wearer of this amulet, I'll just give you another encounter.
He's already thought up counters to the items he's given us.
Oh, of course. I've learned. I made some broken ass items for the first game I tried to DM. Alright, can I abandon like the super proper wording and just give you like 1 per day does this?
Yeah.
Recharges at X. Alright. These are your 3 items. You may divvy them up however you please, but I think it's kind of obvious that I did have users intended for each of them. That being said, you're free to do with them what you wish.
I don't know what Scotha is going to do with a quiver, but okay.
So each of these items have like the visage of Melandru carved into them or like emblazoned on them also. Like the amulet is like a pendant like with like the face of Melandru. Like the quiver has like Melandru like embroidered into it. The dagger has like Melandru on the hilt. Like these are very clearly, to anyone who knows what they're looking at least, if not divine items, like items from worshippers.
Question.
Of the divine. Yes.
The dagger of Melandru, it says, granted, this is probably because you truncated it, but it says, upon hitting a target, the vines and roots spring forth. Is that a mandatory as soon as it hits something the first time that day this happens, or is it a, like, you can will it to happen?
You can choose to activate that. I should have added
Word.
that.
Do we have to roll for items here?
You can divvy them however you would like.
Well, I think Kiri should get the quiver.
Yes, that's...
You, what would you like, Skulker? I almost said Scatha.
Well, it seems like we're both eyeing the dagger.
Which would you like?
Most of my spells don't require concentration.
Yeah, the dagger's meant for you. I was questioning if you actually wanted the other amulet.
Okay, no, I was just like, you're asking an awful lot of questions about someone else's dagger.
Right, because I wanted to clarify before this came up in the combat scenario.
I feel bad because I didn't pay attention to the answer. Optional?
Optional.
Or mandatory? Optional.
It was optional.
Okay.
Forgot to add that. Dagger recharges at dawn, amulet recharges at midnight.
Well, lucky for us, Dawn's in our party.
there's a strong gust of wind, and like as you're all like looking at these items and stuff and going over, there's like an incredibly powerful gust of wind that moves its way through the trees, and you see like the mist on the ground sort of like billows in just like all different directions as this gust comes through, and you look back like around just to see what's going on, and you notice the unicorn is gone, nowhere to be seen.
Oh, bye, unicorn friend. Oh, I forgot.
Cries.
I forgot that this character is supposed to be really, really emotionally dead inside. Take that back.
Well, see, your journey with us has made you less emotionally dead inside.
Clearly.
Cause you love us. Anyway, I will take down the items and hand them out accordingly. And you assume the statue is decently large.
Yeah, it's about 10 feet tall.
I will also drink from the spring as soon as I get back towards Skulker and hand him his dagger.
So you all feel great after drinking from this spring. It just like is invigorating water. Doesn't heal you or anything like that, but had any of you been sick or like poisoned, it would have rid you of those ailments.
Wow. I feel so good, I almost forgot that I was being hunted by a giant assassin organization. Pretty good water.
I feel like I could
Funny
ruin my
you should
liver
mention
all
that.
over again.
Oh,
Speaking of said assassin organization, we should probably get back to finding that town. Glad we were
Speaking
able
of-
to help Unicorn Friend.
Speaking of alcohol, I also agree about finding a town.
Alright. Let's do it.
Our party exits the clearing. I take it? Yes.
Unless you think it would be safer to camp near this statue tonight, then it would be somewhere part the way into the forest. Because we started around midday, and that took, what, like 30 minutes?
You'd been walking for like a couple hours up until this point, but this took like probably like 30 minutes, yeah.
So is it around, what, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock? Sunsets in, what, like 2 hours?
It's still midday. Sunsets in
Oh.
like 6 hours, like 5 and a
Oh,
half.
word, yeah, I guess we should probably gain some distance. I was thinking it was later. It's also sidebar. I love mead.
Haven't had mead since what's it called? The brewery.
Dude, when I come home, fucking, I think it's 3 weeks from now. No. Yes? No? Yes?
Mhm.
2 weeks. We're going back.
Hell yeah. So it's up to you guys. Would you like to camp out here for the remainder of the day? You want to trek further south? If it's a question of what I think is safest, I laugh and instruct you to do something that is speculatively
But
safe.
what would you as a player character think is safest?
You know Shadestalker. Can his like perception of what is safe really be like relied upon?
Okay, so the real question is, how much pipe weed would Shade have smoked at this point?
I mean,
What are you
that's
doing
being
with your
equal
mic?
to just like, I don't know.
Where are you
Me?
shoving
Oh,
your microphone?
Yeah, so my headset, I forgot to charge it last night, so it's actively dying, so I was trying to, like, put the USB cable in. I forgot to mute it that time.
And the time before.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Nah, it's okay. I get the temptation of like, I can feel the
Oh.
board. This'll be easy. I'll just bloop. Nah.
It never works out that way. I'm sorry about that. I'll do better.
It's okay.
Let's just keep moving.
I would say
Rock
keep
it.
moving. Yep, absolutely. Just keep moving.
Yeah. Miss Kiri, would you care to point towards the direction you believe we should be going?
I assume I
Kiri
can now.
points south.
Because she's the navigator, and I don't know which direction is south.
Kiri knows which way is south.
Mm-hmm.
Directions, what are those?
The things that keep you alive and not in the hands of our enemies.
Hey, Skulker. Have you forgotten to heal from our last encounter?
Don't matter, the spring
Or
killed
have
him.
we actually not taken a rest since we...
We haven't taken a rest.
We haven't taken a rest since the wingding? The giant swimmy thing?
Yeah, you have. You rested last night. You fed the fox.
Oh yeah. And nothing happened after that caused me damage. Weird.
Right.
Look at this little foxy face. I love this picture. I'm relinking it, because fuck you guys, I can do what I want.
Well, yeah, it's here. Fox friend.
Now there's 2 fox faces on my screen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You got double the cuteness.
No, it's only half the cuteness when it could be Lulu.
Alright. Our party exits the clearing and begins heading south, and the camera pans up towards the bright sky as the DM shamelessly segues his way into a cutscene. Do we have the music on?
Cutscene me. There is some good music playing right now, yes. Okay. That's more like it.
We see an interior shot of a very dimly lit cave? Room? It's not really certain what it is we're looking at. We hear the faint sounds of running water in the distance, but it's fairly muted in this area that we're in now. There's all sorts of mounds of detritus and garbage and random items, weapons, clothing, casks, fucking saddles, shoes, just actual, like, rotting food. There's a plethora of shit in this area we find ourselves in. I described the muffled water. Yeah, sounds like running water faintly in the distance. Okay. We see Dalton, Darrow's friend from the Syndicate, carrying a torch, torchlight dancing across his face. He has the scar over his eye. He has his usual smug, shit-eating look on his face with his hair pulled back into that greasy black ponytail that he likes to keep. And he kneels down, and he says, "My lord." And we hear a sort of almost nasally voice answer him, "Yes, Dalton, what is it?" Darrow has not been heard from since his venture into the Underdark to rendezvous with the orcs. He should have been back by now. He hasn't checked in with anyone, any of our representatives in the surrounding area. We believe he might have defected. And we hear our voice from, like, out of the view of the camera say, That is quite problematic indeed. He knows a lot. We have, like, just a moment of silence as whoever this is speaking ponders their options. The water rushing in the distance. Bring him to me. Tell the Nightwalkers to seek him at once. Darrow just nods and says, "Very well, Lord." And he, like, rises from his kneel, and, like, you see he, like, as he turns his back to the source of the voice, he looks down at his cloak with, like, disgust at, like, the garbage and, like, actual probably shit that he just had to kneel in to address this person. But he make sure to be out of this room or like cave or whatever the fuck this area is before brushing his robes off. And end cutscene. We return to our party.
Da-di-da-di-da, forest, yay, brightness, woohoo.
Lovely day outside. The day has given way into the afternoon. And after walking for several hours, we come across a small wooden palisaded fort of some kind. There is no one here that you can see. It appears to be deserted. However, it is fairly large. The palisades cover about an area, say maybe like 40 by 40 fence. You can see that there are some tents and such inside.
Is this is not the town we're looking for. This is a small settlement outside of the town, right?
Yes, we are still very much in the woods. There are no roads or anything. This just appears to be some kind of encampment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, what I'm going to say is it may seem like a good idea to knock on the door and ask for shelter here, but given the fact that I, and subsequently you, which I apologize again for that, are fugitives of an organization, then we probably should associate with as little people as possible to prevent news from getting back and also prevent collateral damage.
Few.
Yes,
So-
as
so-
few people as possible.
Yes, we can associate with little people as long as they're no bigots allowed in this group. Watch yourself, Darrow. You're on thin ice.
I know. I'm sorry, Skulker. I'm trying to be better here. That's some damn good water.
So if we're actually looking for a place to stay, then we would find a place in the forest, right?
Mm-hmm. But I would
Are we
recommend
looking for a place to stay, or are we concluding?
we swing wide of this settlement in favor of trying to
Preserve.
make camp on our own and try to stay hidden as long as possible. This is pretty small, so I would like to think the likelihood that there's someone who's an informant here is low, but I don't really want to take that chance.
Well, let's do it to preserve ourselves and to preserve everyone else. They come looking for us and they had something to do with us. That might also be a problem.
So you're all a safe distance away. You're not worried about being spotted by anyone or anything like that. But you noticed in like the few minutes you've been standing here deliberating, there aren't any noises. The forest is like remarkably quiet here. There isn't any sign of activity, no campfires going, despite the fact that it's starting to approach dusk and you might expect people to be making food or chopping firewood or something along those lines. There are zero signs of activity around you. That being said, people can be quiet. Who knows? I'm just giving you guys more context for what's happening.
No, I know people. They can't be quiet. Not physically possible.
What do you think would be less sketchy? A bird person flying by high overhead, or a small dragon?
I'm neither of those things. So
They're both more sketchy.
They're both very sketchy.
I'm hearing a false dichotomy here.
But which would be less sketchy? Or would you be able to send Lulu in, and that would be less sketchy?
Also, yes.
As a totally neutral, uninvolved spectator, I think the rabbit seems the least sketchy.
I knew he could act as an unbiased
So-
third party.
We could send the rabbit in to check and see if there's like anyone in there.
Indeed.
Or anyone has been here in recent time.
Right.
I mean,
And
I'm not gonna have
you
Lulu
do have the ability to
see
communicate with that
itself.
rabbit, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Not just communicate.
Right, but I believe there's a
I have forged a
range on
bond
that.
with that bunny.
I believe that there's a range on being
100
able to see through it.
I think it's 100 feet.
Mm.
Let me
I
read
get the
5
feeling that we
paragraphs
might be
to find-
outside of that range.
I mean, we can get
You're
closer.
currently like about 600 feet away from the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So, proposition. If you would send your rabbit friend in to try to find a crack to get into the inside, we can walk around through the wooded area forest around it, and then have your friend meet up with us, either on the opposite side or just wherever along the radius, when they're done poking around, and you can find out if there's people in there or not, rather than us just stand here for, I don't know how long it takes a rabbit to hop 600 feet, and then come back and like, hey, yeah, we should keep moving.
It's a fast rabbit. Probably moves faster than you do. I don't like the tone you're taking.
Accurate. I don't know. I just figured small creature, small movement, but I've been wrong before.
50 feet. Anyway.
Up to you. Proposition. You have other ideas.
Oh my god, this video of rabbit nose snuffles.
Oh my god. I think I'm gonna approach the town stealthily, and then try to sit on the perimeter.
Can you
on the
disguise
exits.
yourself first, please?
I'm wearing a cloak.
Yeah, but you've been.
People also know that you know that you're wearing a cloak. You have been wearing a cloak this entire time, ever since the second we met.
Can you make it like green?
Fine, I'm now a fucking tree.
Okay, that's better.
Alright.
Jeez.
Roll me a stealth check, please.
Thank you.
Alright, I need to stop looking at bunny nose snuffles. Yeah, it's pretty fucking good. You don't...
For a tree.
Yeah. Hey, why is that tree walking closer towards us? I don't know, beats me. Fucking, there are no signs of anyone noticing your approach. No noises, no one talking, no calling out. Even the birds overhead don't really seem to watch you with more of a curiosity than anything else.
Okay, so I get all the way to the perimeter of the village?
As close as you'd like to be.
Yes. Alright, then... Okay. I am going to send Lulu in.
Okay.
To slowly but deftly explore for just simple signs of life. Like, I'm not having her start inspecting, like, how warm is this soup? When did Goldilocks leave? Like, no, just, are there people? If not, we can
Picking up the horse
investigate.
droppings to see how warm they are. No,
I mean-
So Lulu, the wooden palisade is gated, and the gate is currently closed. So you have Lulu, you're watching through her senses. She goes around the perimeter and she finds a small gap between two of the palisades that she's able to sort of squeeze through. You're immediately greeted by the sight of like tents and the smell of like old meat, maybe that's been out in the sun too long. It's like unpleasant, but it's kind of faint. So like you're not really too sure what to make of it.
First I inspect the other side of the gate. Like, is there
So you
anyone
walk back
standing
along
guard
the
at
perimeter of the wall towards the gate that you were originally like looking at, and there is no one manning it. You actually see now there is a corpse on the other side of the gate. Its throat has been slashed. It is a human male. Oh yeah, that's right. You're from this Ascon. Roll me just straight intelligence, like a recall. The red armband that this person is wearing was where if a corpse is wearing something, it is wearing, right? Like
Yes.
is and
The
was
corpse
wearing.
is still wearing it, yeah.
Okay, word. So the armband that this corpse is wearing is like a very like ruby red tied around the right shoulder. And you're familiar with there's a group of bandits in this forest called the Blood Reds, or the Blood Red Bandits, excuse me, that used to perform like kind of just like raids on like caravans that would be moving north towards Fort Rannoch. You haven't had interactions with them, but you are aware of their reputation and you know that this is their call sign. There was one person at the gate and he is dead. He is currently lying face down with his feet towards the gate, and you can tell like as Lulu kind of like looks at him like a little more closely, his throat has been slashed.
Okay. I'm gonna have her check inside one of the close tents as well. Unless the smell is too pungent before she even gets inside.
Oh, it's all good. So in one of the tents you find 3 more bodies. They all have their throats slashed. The more like you look at them, they've been dead for like the better part of like 2 or 3 weeks. Like animals have started taking chunks out of them. They're kind of like past their rotting phase. They're more just like withered bodies, kind of like most of what's edible has been eaten, but you can still kind of gather like a few things about the way they were killed.
Darrow, I can't believe you would suggest Lulu witness these things. Not in character, because I'm not next to Darrow yet.
I'm sitting against a tree, staring at the sky.
Get off of me! Oh,
It's
right.
a lovely sunset out tonight.
It's
Like
nice.
that orange fading into purple kind of sunset. That good shit.
I'm gonna have Lulu come out of the tent and make one more check that, like, she can't hear any sort of rustling outside of wind.
She does hear rustling coming from a tent about 15 meters to her north. Almost as if something is like rummaging around.
Okay, 15 meters, about 5 feet. How close is Skulker to his current position?
About like 40 feet away.
Okay. Then I'm gonna cautiously approach it.
So Lulu kind of like very slowly, nose snuffles, and like walks her way up towards this tent. And as you get closer and closer, the rummaging sound sort of like keeps getting like louder and louder, like the closer you get to this tent. And to your surprise, something comes bursting out of the tent. It is a raccoon. You see it has a rotted apple in its mouth, and it kind of just like does the thing where like you ever seen like a squirrel carry something bigger than itself or like something like large compared to the size of its body, where like it runs on 3 legs and keeps the other thing like clutched to its chest.
Oh, yeah.
This raccoon has like an apple clutched to its chest, and you can see it has its mouth full also, and it kind of like bursts out of the tent with its haul and like looks at Lulu and kind of just like does like an up and down, like doesn't really know what to make of the spectral horned bunny, and just scampers off with the apple.
And that's the only other noise that Lulu could really hear?
The encampment is now completely silent.
Alright. I'm gonna have her warp back to me, and then I'm reporting back to the guys that like it's dead silent in there. It was abandoned camp, so be on. Yeah. Can we say I'm already back telling them this shit?
Yeah, surely.
Okay. Be on guard. But it looks, I'm gonna say, pretty dead in there, and that's a little too literal. I'll call it a pun.
So there's a bunch of dead people inside that camp.
Yes.
Okay. Should we still go around it, or do you want to go in there for tonight?
I mean, I kind of want to know if there's anything of value in there.
Did you find a way in that's not rabbit-sized?
The palisades themselves are like 11 feet high, where like you could climb them if you wanted to, especially if you weren't trying to be stealthy about it.
I have a thing for climbing things.
Indeed you do.
Congratulations.
See you losers on the other side. And then I lower the gate for them.
Word.
While Kiri just looks at me like, why were you so excited? I can fly. I don't get why. Whatever. Go on, Anzu.
Do you humor him and just wait on the other side of the wall, or do you just
I'll humor him.
Fly up and over?
He seemed really excited. I'll humor him.
Okay. So you hear like Skulker like climb his way up, hop over to the other side, and you hear like him like lifting something heavy and wooden, like a slight grunt, and it kind of like hits the ground, and he starts like rolling the gate to the palisade open in front of you. And you all now see the guy that was face down. You can see like the camp looks very unattended. No signs of life or movement or sound or anything like that.
Don't worry, guys. These corpses will protect us.
I'm still nervous about being here. I feel like this is more trackable than just staying in a forest.
And I feel like everyone who knows about this, who knows that they're welcome to this place, is here and dead. And everyone who doesn't know about this place is not welcome here, and they know it. And whoever
The
took these
Syndicate
people who
doesn't
are
care
here,
if they're welcome somewhere or not. They just go. The Syndicate could have killed all these people for all we know.
Yes, they probably did, clearly. And they took care of the job and moved on. They're not going to come back, 2 weeks later, just to double check? Oh, did someone happen to come back 2 weeks later and stick around? No, this kind of a scene, no one's gonna come here and stick around like we are.
How many days has it been since we left the church?
It has been. Give me just a second, because I don't want to fuck this up.
Gotta have continuity.
Yes, exactly. I want that continuity. Today will be the end of your 4th day.
Okay. Word. These people are not dead because of us, so the likelihood of them putting one and one together to make two is very low. That settles my mind a bit.
everyone was present for the festival at Greenwich, right? And like speaking with
That
Inquisitor
is here,
Davos
yes.
and such.
Yes.
Okay. Please, well, right. Flint was not there. I think Scatha and you three were there. Please roll me cold intelligence check.
No, sorry, that's some warm intelligence right there. I've been using my thinky brain today. Score set in character.
I'm sorry, Sean. We should laugh at your misfortune.
It's a 9. No, it's an 8.
That intelligence check makes sense now.
So you vaguely remember Inquisitor Davos mentioning something about the bandit activity in these woods being kind of quiet lately, but you can't really recall exactly what he said. The festival was a little over a week ago. Actually, no, the festival was like pretty much exactly a week ago. Kiri and Skulker, you remember him saying exactly that more or less the bandit activity in these woods has been quiet for approaching a month now, and they're unsure of why, but he did possibly mention like either some like sort of new threat is present in the woods, perhaps a rival gang took them out, or they might have moved on elsewhere, were the three guesses that he had.
You know that you're saying that? That does ring a bell. Like, that actually does ring a bell of him talking about some kind of rival gang activity
I
going
do
on.
remember zoning out for that, so yes, that one stuck a little.
Oh my god.
I'm just being in character. I was
What was
having drinks
the-
at that festival. That
What was
guy
the
did not interest
meme
me.
that Mike sent the other day where it was like, okay, this NPC's name is Jahani Kosko or something like that. Right, Jumanji Costco. Like,
Oh, that was from Critical Role.
was it really?
It was a legit, like, yeah, his name was Costco. So Sam Riegel, who's the shit-eating, like...
Wise
Josh.
ass?
Yeah, he's the wise ass.
He's
Josh
Josh.
of the group.
LOL.
Yeah. And, but, you know, just moderately more successful and funny.
Than him, yes I am, thank you.
Yeah.
Did I enable friendly fire? Damn.
So,
Yikes.
yeah, his name is, it's like
Oof.
something Costco, and he's like, all right, Jumanji Costco, word, and then the DM just silently looks down, writes a little note in his page, and looks back up. He goes, no, wait, no, don't do that. Why'd you do that? He's like, why are you still writing? Oh, stop writing. Oh. He's like, I remember, and he does it 3 more times, and every time he does it, he writes down again. He's like, oh, why do I keep doing this?
I like the new picture for Carrie.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh, that's sweet.
So yes, you all kind of vaguely reminisce about what it was that Davos said. But yeah, we have now made our way into night. Like the sunset has now faded way into darkness. The very last clutches of twilight are like making their final grasps at the sky as the sun falls completely below the horizon. In the very far distance, we hear a wolf howling. I'm not going to stand here and yell at my microphone.
I was actually depending whether that was going to be an owl or a wolf. It was between the two.
Yeah. You start hearing a couple like the bugs kind of start, making noises. You see fireflies like dotting their way sparsely across the distance.
Yeah, we shouldn't make a fire tonight to draw any attention here, but feel free to shack up and get some sleep.
Let's clear the corpses out one of the nicer tents.
I don't think we should move anything, to be honest with you.
Okay, let's find the tents that don't have corpses in it. So picky.
Roll me an investigation check. Consistency, I like it.
Not consistent.
Alright. So, Darren Skulker, you can sort of like put together.
Oh my god, that rapid's dumb as fuck.
Rapid's dumb as fuck. LOL, dude. Fucking wrecked. -4.
I've never noticed that before.
Apparently, Anzu's the smartest of us all. Anzu the dragon is the smartest in this party.
Yeah, well, he's wise and smart.
What, did you expect the rabbit
The baby
to
dragon.
solve the jar puzzle or something? Like, what?
I just never expected to see a creature with a -4. That took me so off guard.
One thing I
That
just
really
realized
caught me
I
off
forgot
guard.
to mention that is not relevant right now, but trust me, it will become relevant someday. The items I just gave you require attunement.
Word.
What?
You know, I should probably enter that item into my inventory.
I already did, because I'm ahead of you.
Yeah, I've been writing notes.
I don't take notes, but I got this sheet down.
I should put it
I
in.
would take notes if there were a spot on the game.
In beginning. And
No.
So yeah, I know in the other game that Sean and I both play in, like literally every single member of our party is capped at their 3 attunement items. So no one really has anything that requires attunement now, but someday we will have to actually start like keeping track. So just
And
wanna make that
explaining
clear.
what attunement is to me.
Yeah, we'll explain that eventually.
Okay.
Did Mike give us anything that requires attunement?
No.
No, I don't think he did, huh?
Give
So
me an
attunement is
experience,
basically like anyone who's not Kiri that picks up that quiver, it functions as a normal quiver, more or less.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like, yeah.
Well, that's not entirely accurate.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'll give a much better description of it.
Yeah, so attunement means that when you pick up the item, there's usually characteristics of it that say, like, this is a +1 armor, but when you attune to it, you gain blah. And attunement means that you spend an hour focusing on the item and becoming familiar with it and basically meditating into the item. And then after that hour, you gain its magical properties. And you have a maximum amount of 3 attunement slots that you can maintain concentration on subconsciously.
Okay, and that hour isn't like a per day thing, it's...
So that's period.
Okay.
Once you attune to it, once you're attuned to it forever, and you can unattune to a piece of equipment or an item by simply removing it. You don't need to spend any time unattuning to something. You just drop it, and you're not attuned to it anymore.
Okay.
Something like a dagger, typically if you remove a piece of armor, you become unattuned to it. But a dagger, which can be thrown, that requires you to attune to it to use its properties, you do not unattune to it by throwing it.
Okay.
As a DM, I kind of run it like if you make a conscious decision to drop attunement to it, you will. So like if you guys are going somewhere formal and you aren't all wearing your armor and quivers and what have you, you're not going to come back to your room and have to spend an hour attuning to your item before you go to sleep. Or like you won't lose it in the morning if you take off your stuff when you wake up.
Gotcha.
Granted, if you like chuck it down a hole, you know, you spend enough time away from it, you'll lose your attunement, but I don't like to be too punishing when it comes to like dropping attunements.
And Lulu attuned to... No, I'm kidding.
That being said, I have no idea what other DMs do. I don't know what's canon or like what's like standard practice, but that's how I do it.
Word. It could be one of those things that's just subtle gray area that's up to DM's discretion to deal with. But I've never read into it all that deeply. Yeah, most of us have been playing for, what, like 3 or 4 years now. None of us have read the player's handbook cover to cover. We just look up what's necessary.
I think I'm coming up on 2 years, I think. This will be my 2nd year. Wait, no.
Oh.
Like 2.5.
Has Mike's campaign really been going on for 3 to 4 years?
No.
Oh, wait, then
Huh?
I've only been playing for like 9 months.
No, I've been playing like with a different group for that
I know.
time. 2.5
How
years.
dare you?
So, night has fallen.
still investigating what I can.
Oh, right. Sorry, I sidetracked myself.
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah.
ADD problems. Okay. So you can kind of infer from like the locations of the corpses that you find and like the stuff you find surrounding them, these people were killed at nighttime. There are a couple guards surrounding the people on watch, it looks like, surrounding the perimeter of the palisade. A lot of the bodies are in tents sitting around like plates of food, or like some of them are in their bunks. There's a couple signs of struggle here and there, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you can tell in like the mud, or like the soft ground of the camp, that like there were some spots where scuffles broke out. You can see a lot of like frantic footwork almost, and bodies to match.
Some weapons in the ground, perhaps. Javelins.
No weapons in the ground, although you do find weapons like around the bodies. Like those who were clearly killed like unaware have weapons either on their person or like at their sides, or like some of them in their tents. There are like weapons around the camp though as well. You can also find rotting food, and there are no tents that are unoccupied, but there is one tent that has one corpse in it. The rest have multiple.
Is a tent big enough for 3 of us? Or 5 of us?
Yes.
4 of us?
It appears to be the most distinguished of the tents. There is a small lockbox in the corner of this tent.
You break your thieves' tools.
It's a dwarven lockbox, so pretty. I don't know. You're not having much luck with it. Maybe on a different day you might do better, but
Does thieves' tools, is it like a one-time use?
I've never DM'd for a rogue that actually like uses thieves' tools super often.
No.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
I don't think it's like Skyrim where like, oh, I broke my lockpick, fuck my ass, or like,
No.
Yeah.
I'm out. I don't think it's
There
like
are some DMs that will say if you roll a natural 1 with your thieves' tools, you break a component of it that's going to require it being fixed or replaced. But it really is, you own thieves' tools, therefore you can do X things with them.
Okay. And this isn't exactly a high-pressure situation, so I can take my time. Like, even in, like, Fallout with the bobby pins, like, if you take enough time and do it as gently as possible, you can't break them.
Right, but you just spent 2 hours.
Not getting it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying.
I'll try again.
Apparently you spent 2 hours, but...
I'll try again during my watch.
So in hefting the lockbox, you can hear that there are some coins inside, or at least something metallic sliding around. You'd assume it to be coins, but without actually opening it, you can only infer.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, speaking of watch,
After failing it, I drop it on the ground and charge up a firebolt and show this look of extreme temptation with like gritted teeth of like, I could do it!
I
Just
slowly
burn through the
open
rock.
the bag of holding and say, we have a magical bag that we can put anything we want in it now. We can just put it in here and deal with it later.
No, I'm gonna sleep on it.
But this also states that they weren't really here to rob, now were they?
Or this lockbox gave them too much trouble too.
I'm pretty sure. Even if that was the case, it'd probably take this lockbox. Like,
DM laughter confirms it.
The fact that this guy just laughed means nothing.
I'll laugh at anything. I love listening to parties debate things. You can ask Sean. I will just sit here and laugh at the shit you guys are talking about, and it means absolutely nothing.
Oh yeah, no, I pay zero attention to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hurry up and start your watches so I can sleep on this.
Okay, so I will watch first.
All right. So are we trying to find, like, we're just like settling down in this tent and we're taking watches?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I imagine.
Me, watch order, please. Darrow first.
Yep, me first.
I'll go towards
Also, is
the morning
there,
so I could see, because I don't have dark vision.
You said it was like an 11-foot wall we could climb over. Was there like a walkway around the top of the watch, like around the top of
been
the
just
wall
some-
that you could do watches
some
on,
towers.
or like a towery type thing?
There was not. There is. It's like a wooden, like a very simple palisade. Like it's kind of like, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like joists, maybe? Is that the proper word? Like pieces of wood coming off of the back of the palisade that kind of keep them propped upright.
I just googled Palisade and I got the 2020 Hyundai Palisade. All right.
Premium SUVs line the perimeter of this. No,
Okay, I searched Palisade structure. Palisade cells are plant cells located on the leaves. Can I get a picture of this thing, please?
Yeah, I got you. Here. Wooden
I'm having zero
palisade.
effort. Not zero effort, zero success.
Zero
I
effort.
got you.
Put in 0 effort.
Coming up. Oh no, it's on
I did
Pinterest.
2
God
Google
damn it.
searches.
Alright, I have to find something else.
Oh,
So
fine.
if you Google wooden palisade, you will find what it is I'm talking about.
I got you in a second.
Okay.
Also, fun fact, if you're ever crossing the bridge over into New Jersey from the city, the like sheer like rock face on the Jersey side of it, those are also referred to as the Palisades. It's a rock formation.
See, I've heard that before.
Here.
Okay, so it's literally a wooden fence with pointy spikes at the top.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, chairs.
Can I get a picture that isn't from fucking Pinterest? God damn it.
I found ones on Shutterstock.
Yeah, stock photos.
There could also be like this kind of thing where in this case they actually would have like a walkway on top. But, it depends on the
How about this one from lifeisfeudal.com? Feudal
So it's
spelled
closer to this one that I just linked in the
like the feudal ages.
Right, so it's all pointy and angled and stuff.
yeah.
Feudal.
Okay.
These puns are just, ahead of your guys' time, I guess.
I enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
Thank you. Thank you, Sky God.
You're welcome. So we have Darrow on first watch?
Yep, I'll do first
See.
watch, and I'll just walk about the inside of the encampment. Not wanting to stay in one spot, not wanting to stay inside the tent. Just keep watch.
Okay. Roll me a perception check, please.
Okay. Where did that? Oh, there it is.
It is a beautiful night out tonight. Clear sky. You can see that the moon is out. It's actually like casting like a dim silvery glow over everything. You see that the mist lining the ground sort of like catches the moonlight in a very interesting way. It's actually kind of like beautiful, not to mention serene in these woods tonight. But apart from that, nothing particular catches your attention. You hear like animal noises, here and there. Nothing sounds panicked. Everything just seems like natural order of things. And your watch comes and goes without incident.
Okie doke.
Who do we save a second?
Skulker, because I want Twilight, because I don't have dark vision.
Okay.
Say the words. Say it.
How would you like to spend your watch? Like how Darrow gave me his game plan, like walking around.
I would say a 50-50 mix of walking around, kind of inspecting things, seeing if I can glean anything else a little more useful from any of the particular tents, and just trying at the lockbox, like 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off-ish.
Roll me, and you have dark vision, right?
Yes.
Roll me an investigation check and a perception check at disadvantage, please. You find
Still
a
did the
wineskin.
important thing.
You find a wineskin. There's a little bit of wine left in it, not much. And apart from that, you hear the same beautiful, like, you see the same, like, serene, placid forest, like the mist softly crawling across the ground, animal noises, moonlight. Lulu seems to be enjoying herself. She was very cute. And you said you were going at the lockbox, right? You can roll me another thieves tools check for the night.
I just needed to sleep on it.
Very well done. So, I will type it out so it's easier to keep track of. This is a small dwarven lockbox, kind of like ornately
just looked
carved.
for the key. Oh my god. Sorry, go on.
I was wondering if you guys were going to say you wanted to look around for the key, because I know where it is. I mean, no shit, I know where it is. But, like, I had a location for it in mind. But, So the lockbox itself, now that it
There
has
are no
been
wizards
unlocked,
here.
cannot be relocked. So you now just have a fancy jewelry box, I guess this would be now.
Damn, I was actually
Inside
thinking,
of it,
like... Go on.
lined.
You find crickets, a severed thumb, some grass.
Give me just a sec, making sure to type all this properly.
And 200 gold pieces worth of incense and other things to summon a familiar.
Yeah, if there's 200 gold pieces in there, I shoddy like 100 of it so that I can actually contact my dad.
You find 240 copper, 60 silver, and 3 gold pieces. It appears to be the haul of what, or at least, I don't know,
Damn.
some of what the bandits must have plundered.
It's all divisible by 3. Fate's trying to say something.
I had different numbers for this originally when I wrote this. I had to, like, rework them. They all used to be divisible by 4. But, yeah. So, anyway, your watch comes and goes without incident. It is now Kiri's turn. You want to let her sleep in? You waken her?
I'm gonna wake her and give her a third of the hoard, the prizes.
All
Say,
right.
look what I won.
Kiri, you may add the following to your inventory: 80 copper, 20 silver, 1 gold.
Thank you.
How would you like to
Curiosity
spend your
is-
watch?
Spread the
actually
word
doing
that
anything.
Skulker is the greatest lockpicker you know.
I would like to not be.
Can you guys see that roll that I just did?
Yes.
Yep.
Why?
Word. Okay, cool. Last time I tried rolling things as, not Sean G, it didn't go through.
That's weird.
That's weird too.
It is.
All my gold from my thing was missing. I didn't have any money except like a few coppers on my person. I don't know what happened. Anyway.
That's weird.
I only had like 8 copper also.
You still only have 8 copper. I haven't given you any yet.
I think I had it somewhere in notes. Anyway, we'll talk about it later.
That's not right. Because I know you guys all started with 10 silver. And then...
Yeah, but we got like
no,
a bunch
I didn't
of
have
gold
8 copper. I had
from...
90 copper and how much silver did we just get? 20 silver, and I had 40 something silver.
Yeah, we like got a bunch of gold from like winning the
Oh yeah, you guys
stuff and
won
stuff.
shit.
Yeah.
Why am I giving you?
Anyway.
I just won this. Why am I giving you guys my prizes?
I don't know.
Because Skulker's a big old softy at heart, but he doesn't want anyone to know. I'm sorry. I don't mean to mock your character. Forgive me.
It's
like,
okay, as long
are
as the player
there? I
characters
assume
don't know.
there's trees nearby the palisade.
Yeah. No, we're pretty much like smack dab in the middle of the woods.
I
I'll be right back, guys.
would choose to kind of like take watch
Have we
from
crossed the
the
river yet?
trees.
We have not.
Take watch from the trees and kind of like switch trees to get like different angles every so often. Not too often, but like just rotate.
Okay. Roll me a
Let's check it.
perception check, please.
Mm-hmm.
Not much to see. There's a lot of like animal activity now as the sun starts coming up on the horizon. Things start to become more crepuscular, and basically the mist begins to go from like a soft silvery glow to like as the sun starts to crest the horizon, you see it's almost kind of like almost looks like snow in a way. It's like a very dazzling white. I mean, you saw it yesterday, so it's nothing new, but it sort of fades into like a soft silvery like crawling mist to like a like beautiful white like rolling mist. And the night comes and goes without incident.
Well, as soon as it's over, I would go wake up the crew.
Good morning. All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Daryl, wait. Look, I won. I won the prize. I opened the and I gave him the gold.
Hey, you opened the chest. Hey, thanks.
Yep. Can't close it.
That's fine. I got a better chest myself.
Yeah, but I wanted.
All right, but yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, you could have looked for the key.
I'm trying to remember how much money I gave you guys for winning first place in those contests, because it's weird that all your money went missing.
I kind of want
I think
to
it was
spend
30 silver, if I'm not mistaken, because we started with 10, and Skatha has 40 silver, and he won first place in the strength contest. I know I gave you guys the same prize.
I think the prizes got big. Can I spend like 10 minutes before we go looking for the key, just to know how much quicker it would have been to just find the key?
Surely, roll me an investigation check. It is
what happened to
on
roll
it.
20?
It is on a like a sort of thin type of like string twine type of material around the guy's neck, who is the one corpse in the tent that you found this in.
Okay, hold on.
Clearly, they were not here to steal.
You now have a functioning dwarven lockbox. You palm your nose bone into your brain. You die immediately upon impact. You're 2 and 2.
Ooh.
You die. GG, Skulker. Nah. Thanks for coming out.
My Lulu lives on though. I play as Lulu. Dwarven lockbox. Hot damn.
Look at you, fancy.
So, what's it called? The camp also has a variety of weapons and such lying around. I don't know if any of you are looking to outfit yourselves with anything.
Do they have anything better than what I have?
No. Nothing here is of like exceptional make or anything like that.
Do they have like a bunch of javelins that I could just grab?
Find, though.
I could take the arrows and any javelins they have running around. Just throw them in my quiver.
Oh, good question. Did the quiver come pre-populated?
It did not.
That's what I'm doing now. I'm populating it.
So, 4 javelins, 30 arrows. Are there any other types of weaponry we're interested in?
Spears.
30
grappling
arrows, you
hooks.
said?
Yep, 30 arrows.
I can't take all 30, because I already have 20 arrows on me. Because you said
The
40
quiver
max,
Does it
right?
hold 60?
Oh,
think.
never mind.
60.
Okay. If it
Also,
costs
bag of
60,
holding.
then...
I mean, just stash
There
them.
is
They
a
don't have
bag
to
of
be in the
holding.
quiver.
Nah,
They don't
if I
have to
can
be in
hold
the
them, I'm
quiver.
gonna
You
hold
can just
them.
bundle them up with some straight.
30 arrows and 4 javelins, you said?
Let me. I'm looking
30
at the.
arrows?
I'm looking at the.
I know, but like I added them to the ones I already had, so that would make 50.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, and you can hold a capacity of 60. 60. In your fancy.
There's 4 javelins. Did I hear spears also?
You did.
2 spears.
Daggers.
4 daggers.
Low key call bullshit, but yeah.
Well, there's about 30 bodies in this camp from what you found so far. 30 arrows. You find a short bow, 2 long bows, 3 morning stars, 1 short sword, 2 long swords, the stuff I have mentioned here, and there are also a couple of maces lying around, like 4 maces. So like it's really kind of like whatever you're looking for, you could probably find, and none of it's going to be like a +1 weapon or anything like that, but it will serve its purpose.
Skulker turns to Darrow. How much of this can we fit in ye old bag of holding?
Actually, that I could probably just literally hold in my quiver and it won't cost me anything.
For selling purposes.
Well, I think we can hold like 30 pounds of stuff, ish, maybe. I don't know, maybe less.
I have room for all that and it doesn't cost me weight.
I
don't know about that.
Yeah, that's.
Boring. What do you know? What do you mean you don't know about that?
You can hold 60 arrows, bolts, or similar objects. You can hold 18 javelins, or 6 long objects such as bows, quarterstaffs, or spears.
So I can hold spears.
You can take all the bows, the morning stars, the daggers, the maces and whatnot. Do not fit in any of the functional components of those things mentioned.
Well, I wasn't talking about the bases. I was talking about
if
the
you
ones.
Try hard enough, anything is a javelin.
I was talking about like the spears and the daggers and the bows.
Daggers are mine.
Right, spears and javelins definitely. Bows definitely. The morning star and the mace probably not. Which a morning star is 4 pounds and a mace is 4 pounds. Also, a morning star is 1d8, where a mace is 1d6. So I think I'm gonna upgrade to a morning star if I actually have class proficiency with that, which I'll look into.
You have martial weapon, right?
I'm gonna look
or
into
is it just simple weapon?
I'm gonna look.
Oh
into
wait,
it.
right. Sorry.
Oh wait,
So-
shit. Yeah. I'm gonna take. Did you say there were short swords?
Yep.
Okay.
1 short sword.
1
2
short
long
sword.
swords.
I'm taking 1 long sword and the 1 short sword.
Okay.
Because I have proficiencies. Yes.
The
Okay,
daggers and the spears and javelins would all fit in the like middle pouch, the mid-size compartment.
Mm-hmm.
What daggers? There weren't any daggers.
So that's 10 items in the middle compartment. And there was a short bow and 2 long bows. So would you like to take all 3 of the bows?
I could if they want me to. or they could put it in a bag of holding, whatever they want.
Yeah, stow them in your bag, Kiri, please.
Okay. So I have... two spears.
What the fuck?
2 longbows, you said? And 1 short bow. Am I taking the daggers, or is that like someone else's? I'm assuming Skulker took it.
The Skulker.
Cool.
That was Josh. Oh yeah, I do have martial weapon proficiency. I don't know why, but I do.
There you go. You can use a Morningstar.
Nice. What's a Morning
And
Star
it is
look like?
piercing damage, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Tis piercing damage, as opposed to bludgeoning. What's a Morning Star look like?
It looks like...
Morningstar is a mace with a chain between the stick and the ball.
I think it's more like a...
A Morning Star is a mace with a longer handle.
I'm calling bullshit. There's a chain involved. There's swinging involved. I am certain of this.
Just Googled it.
Google deeper.
So there's like mixed results.
Oh, okay. So a Morning Star is pointy. A mace is blunt.
That... What? Okay.
Morningstar could be several different types of club-like weapons, consisting of a shaft with an attached ball adorned with more spikes. 1 or more spikes.
I thought a flail was what was like, that was spiky, and then a Morningstar is a flail with a chain.
The term is often
a
confused with the military
mace
flail.
with a chain. A Morning Star has spikes. A mace is blunt object damage.
All right, the more I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the term is often confused with the military flail, Josh, which consists of a wooden shaft joined by a length of chain to 1 or more iron shod wooden bars.
Knowledge is power, kids. Never go unarmed.
So now that we just robbed all these dead people of their possessions, feeling good about this.
Pretty good haul for first thing in the morning.
And few depictions of a ball and chain flail from the period to be a Morning Star were atypical. They're very uncommon. So there's that.
Today I learned. Yeah, probably because like back in the day, constructing chain links must have been really fine work. Probably
That, and it would be
difficult.
very freaking difficult to wield that without hurting yourself too. So there's that.
Yep.
Swing that
untrained
shit you
soldier is
miss,
much
and that
better
shit's
with a
hitting you.
club type thing than a complicated type thing.
For our intents and purposes, there is no chain on this Morningstar. It is
Thank
spiky
you for making that
mace.
clear.
You're welcome. So, y'all did spend about like over an hour, but not 2 hours combing through the camp. Like claiming all the weapons, divvying up stuff, etc.
I'm debating whether it's a Morning Star or a mace.
That's definitely an us conversation.
Like an in character, like having the discussion, like.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So between.
Hey, I found this stuff and this Morning Star, but it doesn't have a chain. Morning Stars don't have chains. What?
Listen to the one that has actual martial proficiency. Pretty sure they should know.
Do all of you guys have martial proficiency?
Yep.
Might be mistaken. Do rogues get it? I know you have it, Kiri. Darrow has it. I'm opening Skulker's character sheet. He does not have martial proficiency.
Skulker does not.
But he does get some martial weapons, it looks like. Long swords, rapiers, whips.
That's why he knows nothing about Morning Stars.
He was marked.
I'm having difficulty
Joking.
adding it to my inventory.
Okay.
Oh, that's just the proficiency. Yeah, let me delete that. I do that all the time. Instead of adding the weapon, I add the proficiency for the weapon to my inventory. Nice. So I just upgraded a die value on my weapon.
Well done, sir.
I like that. Word. Okay, can I do one last paranoid check to see if I'm being watched by anybody other than these two and their pets?
Surely.
How would you like me to do that? Like, just look around, or am I peering at the shadows, or maybe at the treetops, or...
Just roll me a perception check. Beautiful day.
Nice. All right. Feeling good. Feeling fine. So I guess we'll hop over the wall. I take it that we haven't crossed the river yet, so we must not be that close. But I suppose once we get back to town, we can report that those bandits that were having the squabble, they probably aren't squabbling anymore, because they were kind of wiped out.
So we're heading off.
Yes,
Unless anybody else has anything else they want to do. Was I supposed to add anything to the inventory of the bag we're holding, or did Kiri and or Skulker take all the stuff they wanted?
I don't think anything went into the bag, if I'm not mistaken. I don't recall it being specified.
Cool. Then I'm good.
No. I took everything that needed to be, and I put it in my inventory. That being the javelins, the spears, the long and short bow, the arrows. Yeah. Oh god, that terrified me for some reason.
Oh, it's another beautiful morning. We find our party departing the Blood Red Bandits camp and heading south towards the city of Croydon. After a couple hours of traveling, around midday, they all cross the river, which is known as the Ashford River. I don't know if it's ever been specified or not.
Ashford?
Yep. I'll type it also. There is no bridge.
How do we cross it then? Since we have already crossed it. As per the DM.
Hmm?
I don't think we've crossed it yet.
He
We've
said
never
we crossed
this
it.
river.
We crossed under it, but we have not crossed over it yet.
Okay. Because you said we crossed the river already.
That is up to you guys. You can just say
I could
peace
just,
and leave.
I could just fly over to the other side and be like,
Mhm.
whatever, slowpokes.
So the river, in its widest spot, that on this like stretch that you can see, is about 40 feet across. It narrows out to around 25 in some of the slimmer parts, but is still a hardy river. Flowing towards the west.
Can we generally tell how deep or how fast this river is long?
Fast enough where it would require an athletics check to swim against it. What was the question? How fast and
How
what was
deep?
the other part? And it's about 15 or more feet deep, depending on where it is you're looking at.
Okay, so it's a hardy river.
Yeah. El Nino Grande. Not the biggest, but a respectable river.
It would require athletics to swim against it, but how would you fare if I chose to kind of like drag him across to the other side with like a rope, like we did kind of in the cavern?
You want to like fly across the tie rope?
I can fly, like, but I'm holding the rope at my feet while they hold onto the rope, and I can just kind of like get him across.
That would be, you can make a check for it, but it would definitely be like a lot of weight to pull with like your wings.
Okay.
Couldn't we say it gives us advantage on the athletics check? Like we have some assistance?
You could add Kiri's strength modifier to your check, which is a +2.
Wait, why are we swimming against this again?
We need to get to the other side of the river to get to the town.
We don't have to swim against it. We can just swim straight across and just be pushed down.
It depends on
Right.
how fast it's going, right? Because it could just carry you. That's why there's an athletics check, right? Because, like, yes, if it's going generally slowly enough, you could just literally let it carry you, like, maybe 10 feet down river and, like, it'd still be across.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it's like swimming perpendicular to a riptide. Like, it doesn't matter how fast the riptide's going, you're going perpendicular to it. It's like how, like, when a sniper fires a bullet, the bullet drops at the same rate as if they just dropped the bullet.
You would get carried downstream, not like miles or anything, but it's moving fast enough where you'd get like.
Inconvenienced. Okay.
Just get in the fucking water, pussy!
So Darrow, having no pets to worry about, just like dives in, begins like paddling his way across. You see, he actually fights the current fairly well and winds up basically directly across from where he started. Skulker, on the other hand, gets carried about 200 feet downstream.
Count it.
And he doesn't really have
Fast-moving river.
ethereal bunny can.
It also doesn't help that he has Lulu sitting on his head.
Well, she's ethereal. She doesn't have to be
She's
around.
not ethereal. She's not ethereal. She takes the entire form of a bunny.
Right, but like you can make her disappear and then reappear
Oh
again.
yeah, I could. A little preoccupied right now. Thank you.
Whose fault
Yes.
is that you didn't make her disappear before jumping into the river?
Wow, he has a really loud voice for it to be able to carry 200 feet, huh?
Sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of water in my ears.
Sounds about right.
Okay, I got that out. No, wait, hold on. I can't hear you over the sound of stubbornness in my ears.
there anything else that you're claiming to be in your ears that you want to get out there?
Do you want me to put something in your ears?
Still can't hear you guys. I'm too good for this. Let's move. I'm too old for this shit.
Can't hear you over the old in my
T-shirt.
ears?
So, another few hours cross. Woods kind of move without incident. You see a couple animals here and there, some birds, some insects, a couple smaller things like rabbits or like foxes or I don't know. You know the kind of wildlife you can expect in forests. You can tell that there's definitely an ecosystem here. It's not like a destitute forest where there are no animals. Like the woods are lively, but not like overflowing with animals. So as you keep moving south, the mist that clings to the ground begins to get thinner and thinner until eventually, towards 4 in the afternoon, you spot a break in the tree, and you see open plains with hills lying to the west.
Hey! Okay.
You have made it out of the woods.
Cool.
Another-
Do we see any civilization on the horizon?
You do. You spot farm fields and the village of Croydon.
Nice.
Just gotta yeet
Time
ourselves.
check, please.
It is 4 in the afternoon. You could make it to Croydon by the time the sun starts going down. Figure like 6 p.m.
Perfect. All right, let's do it.
So,
If we pick up the pace, can we get there a little bit sooner?
yeah, I mean, you guys want to jog it, fly it?
We would like to get there before sunset because that's when the scary time is if the syndicate is present in the town.
I like the scary time.
Also, the likelihood of Inquisitor Davos being in his office after sunset is very low.
I
They
Which
dislike
also
might
puts
have
us
the,
in more
They might also
danger.
close the gates, if that's such a thing, in this town at night.
Yeah, but if we have to spend
Right.
like the night out without speaking to Davos first, that puts us in danger.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hauling ass then?
We're hauling
Yeah.
ass.
Feel free to leave me
Alright.
behind. I'll be
Kinda-
jogging, not hauling
Uh,
ass, but I'll be jogging. But
Fast paced, but not.
Not an exhausting pace.
Yeah.
Not a full
I've already-
sprint.
All right. So
I've already
then,
earned
give
my
me
speed.
athletics checks, please.
Can I just fly? Do I have to make an athletics check if I fly?
Yeah, not even
Ah.
jogging.
You're still
I'm
exerting,
still
like,
sopping
effort.
wet.
That's much less. Athletics.
They close the gate. Skulker sleeps outside tonight.
I'm a fucking G.
Kiri's
Ain't
been
no
cooped up
stopping
underground
now.
and in forest now, and
We got the
finally
step.
she has some open air where she can actually just let loose and like take off. So Kiri kind of like
I'm in
more
my
or less
element.
soars ahead of you guys, but manages to redefines the speed of light. Manages to she's like waiting up for you when she starts pulling too far ahead. But for the most part, you can tell Kiri is like very happy to be back in the open air. There you keep a hearty pace. You're sort of the median of the group. Skulker, kind of lagging behind. You can like see the years of drinking in his pace.
I thought the water fixed that shit.
It
Oh, no,
Temporarily
felt-
aided his
felt like it.
symptoms, but did not cure him.
Yeah.
Unicorn lied.
I'd have to
Flying
take
celestial fuck. But
Not
we
you, Lulu.
managed to
Not
beat
you, Lulu.
sundown. Granted, the sun is still getting lower in the sky. This would be, I guess, dinner time. We call it like 5:15. Not quite a full hour ahead of sunset, but better part of an hour.
Find Davos's office immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, the nearest town guardy type person, who doesn't look too old and grizzled, but also not the youngest.
All right. You hit the perimeter of what appears to be like farm fields along the northern edge of the town. So you have to kind of like, once you hit these fences, kind of walk out. I mean, the choice is yours. Do you guys want to go running through someone's crops?
Probably not. feel like that would create more obstacles than necessary.
What stat do you believe would be assigned with morality?
There, no more crops.
The flat D20.
I still have moderately high morals. I will not run through someone's crops.
Are you cannon firebolting the crop?
No,
Just curious.
no, God, no.
All right. So,
Not
with
on
our
my
moderate
Be
pace,
the
we
most chaotic neutral character ever.
we circumnavigate the crop fields. We make our way back to the main road that works its way through Ascalon, and we are able to go around and towards the gate of Croydon. At the gate, we see a young rookie-looking type fella and an old grizzled-looking type fella. 2 guards. They are not blocking your path. They are just standing there.
Okay. Gonna reach into the bag. Actually, wait. This could be
You
a
see
problem.
them both get uneasy, and they see you pulling into your bag, and they kind of both. You see them.
This
They don't
could be a
draw their
problem.
weapons, but they reach.
This could
for
be
their
a
weapons.
problem. The writ of favor we got from Inquisitor Davos. Scatha snapped it up, and I never tried to get it from him.
So Divinity 2 has this mechanic called Magic Pockets, where when there are quest items that need to be shared between disparate party members, it just automatically puts it in the other person's inventory. And Divinity 2 is basically 5e canon, so...
Right.
For now, I'm going to say let's proceed without the writ.
If it helps, I do have the Ascalon medallion.
The PBA card?
The Ascalon military.
Yeah, that's the
pendant.
best we've got right now.
What does PBA stand for?
Police Benevolent Association, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, you donate to the police department.
Professional Bowling Association.
A benefactor or something. Some bullshit. Some Bene prefix word.
No, Professional Bowlers Association is the first result. Hell yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, PBA card. What the fuck?
Okay,
But
yeah, so, shut up. Put my hands up. Don't have anything coming out of the bag. Say, Gary, please pull out the medallion.
I have it around my
we
neck.
need to see Inquisitor Davos immediately. We're in danger. We have valuable intelligence. Please get us to him.
You see the rookie looks towards at the mention of
I
you're
ran
in
up to the
danger.
grizzled guy.
Okay. The grizzled guy instructs you to wait here. If says
We
if you're
can't.
in danger, well, you'll have to. He turns to the rookie. He says, "Go fetch the Inquisitor for me, please." Rookie takes off into town.
Did the grizzled guard make any odd movements when he said those things, like a wink, a nudge, a thing with his fingers, anything?
Perception? Anyone who'd like to roll it, since all 3 of you are standing here.
Oof, that run really winded me.
Darrow, you were close enough to him where you were confident there was no fishy stuff without.
Unless they
Sweet.
already had code phrases set up well in advance.
Sweet.
Yeah, pretty much. Is the roll for enough? Like, maybe this would be a better question for after session. Like, the roll to confirm that you don't see anything, like, is that frustrating?
No.
No, I was kind of hoping that you would ask for such thing.
Okay, cool.
I would almost say, not to get too meta, but that it's fair to require a roll to confirm nothing. Because, I mean, there's, like, a lot of when you do roll successfully in a dungeon, it's still like there aren't any traps that you can see. Like,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
so having a successful roll where it's like you successfully confirm there wasn't anything going on
Right.
anyway.
There's
Like,
also
that
a big
still
difference
feels
between
firm.
rolling a 10 and saying you don't see anything, and rolling a 20 and saying you don't see anything. Just seeing the
Very
number, it's like, well, yeah, I don't see anything, but do I trust that I didn't see anything?
All right, word. I just wanted to make sure. I like to try and run the least frustrating DM style possible, so I'm looking
Well,
at
in that case,
the kinks. But a couple minutes pass, and you see the rookie approaching with Inquisitor Davos. He's got the same like flowing robes on that you saw him with last time, and he's walking at a brisk pace. You see his face kind of like lights up at the sight of you guys. He says, "Ah, hello. I was not expecting to see you again so soon."
Hi, yes, pleasure
Us
to meet your
either.
acquaintance again. Hide us.
He raises an eyebrow and says, like he is clearly like your urgency implies a sense of danger that you can kind of assume he's like weighing like, do I harbor these people from whatever? Then he
I
seems to
promise
err on the
you,
side.
we are not in any
Are you-
enemy of the Empire or of
the
Crown
rebellion.
or anything of that nature.
I would just be like, remember what we talked about last time? We have
No, I think he doesn't want to discuss too much sensitive info in front of like these randy ass guards. So he's kind of just like thinking to himself, and he just says, "Are you being actively followed that you're aware of?"
no,
Probably.
not that we're aware
No.
of.
Not that we're aware of. You're correct. Not that I'm aware of, but
Very well. Follow me, please. He leads you to the center of town. You see that Croydon is like a very like humble, like Greenwich kind of had more of like a, you could tell there was like a bustling economy and like a lot of residents, and like Croydon is like a larger in terms of area, but more of it is farmland. So it's like a more docile town to actually be in, even though it's larger size wise. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Completely.
So there's
right.
like
It's not a bustling city. It's a very large town.
It's
exactly. It's
spread
also
out.
further from the Shiver Peaks, and you can see on the
Shiver
map
Peaks.
here that there's Ascalon City would presumably take a decent amount of traffic off the road heading this way from Greenwich, which was here at G. Ascalon City is A. So you can assume that like a lot of people traveling this road would probably veer towards Ascalon City if we're just going off of probability. So
Shiver.
That's what I said.
That's my home you're
Inquisitor
talking about.
Davos leads you towards the center of town. He leads you to a stone brick building. You see the symbol of the Ascalon like military on this building. You can assume this to be the magistrate for this town. He walks you inside, walks you past someone sitting at the desk in front, walks you through a couple rooms. You see a couple armored and unarmored personnel, all seem to be like discussing things, or like no one's overtly like fucking around, but nothing seems super serious either. You can assume this to be business as usual. There aren't any red lights that have erupted in the country since you went underground. Inquisitor Davos brings you upstairs to a room that has a small placard on the door with his name carved into it, and he opens the door, shovels you all in. There's a warm fire inside. You see he also has a small platter of like cheese and wine and like meat and stuff like set up just for guests in general. And there's a roaring fire. There are a couple armchairs, a desk where he sits at with a nice armchair, and yeah, we are now all inside. No guards accompanying us. It is the party in Davos. Roll scene. Would you like to lead, or do you want him to start the conversation?
May I sit? Please, may we sit, please?
Please make yourselves at home. I imagine you've been on the road for quite some time. It
Yeah.
kind of like looks you up and down.
basically-
Looks that way.
Yeah. Since we last saw each other, we've been in a constant state of motion. It has been an exciting couple days. And also, before I say anything else, I need to thank you deeply for letting us in and trusting us this far, bringing us right here without much explanation. I will explain the situation we're in.
If you would not mind, please recount for me your travels since I last saw you at the Spring Festival.
The travels themselves, we spent multiple days in the Underdark, encountering a drow fellow. We fought some chitin bugs. We fought a giant snake, killed it. We fought some stalagmite-looking creepy things and killed them. We fought a really big-looking stalagmite-looking guy and ran away from him. And then we got to the surface.
Might I ask, what brought you into the Underdark?
Oh, well, the first time we went into the Underdark, before we saw you, that kind of spread our name a little bit, was because we were on a job to kill gnolls. The second time,
Yes, I recall that.
I got word from a member of the syndicate that there was going to be an orc down there with some highly dangerous and deadly exploding toxic gas type bomb things.
Orcish sulfur bombs?
Yes, those. We actually got them and killed the orcs in the process.
Eyebrow at this.
Yeah. If it doesn't freak you out too much, I could show you them, or I could keep them in the bag of holding that we found. Oh, turns out, remember how you said there was possibly a bug inside the organization, and it was possibly a member of the Mage Corps? Yeah, I pull out the bag of holding that has the symbol of the Mage Corps. It's like, we found this at the meeting spot that we killed the orcs. So it was probably a bug in the Mage Corps. And then I'll pull out of the bag of holding the bag with the sulfur bombs in it and say, yeah, in this bag there's a bunch of sulfur bombs.
You see he immediately tenses up and be like,
I can just put them back,
gently, please.
I could just put them back in the magical bag that nothing can get out of.
Just rest them on the floor gently.
Okay.
You see he's trying to be like very ginger about it. He sort of just opens the bag to confirm it's full of what you say it is, and then like seals it again and says, okay, you may replace them in the bag folding.
Okay. Put them in the magically inert bag and zoop, they're gone.
So you can kind of infer he does trust you, but he does still also want to confirm as much as he can about what you're saying.
Right. The other thing that I want to be totally forthright here, and to show you how truthful I'm about to be, if you would allow me to cast a spell that I know called Zone of Truth. That way we may speak truthfully to one another, and you know that I'm not telling any further lies.
If you would not mind, I would call in my advisee. He is more practiced in the matters of the arcane than I am.
If you trust him, then I trust him.
He rings a bell, and another member, a man in flowing white robes, enters the room. He's not addressed by name. You can almost kind of get the vibe that Davos is intentionally not using his name. He says, would you mind please joining us? My guest here is going to cast Zone of Truth, and I would like to make sure that he is in fact casting what he says he's casting. No offense, Darrow, I'm sure you understand.
I do.
Okay. The man without speaking nods. This guy has very short gray hair and like a flowing gray beard. Like For all the length that isn't on his head, it is in his beard. He is human male.
Okay.
Approximately like 50 years old, give or take.
A beard to rival my own.
It is not as storied of a franchise as Skulker's beard. I will give credit where credit is due. And the man like nods, and you're given.
I will repeat the incantation I had heard said before, and wave a couple of runes in the air and cast indeed Zone of Truth, and say that I
Just kidding. Go on.
thank you. I was a member of the syndicate up until 5 days ago. I had been such for a number of years and have learned quite a deal about how the organization works. I was thrown or tricked or joined or got in over my head from a young age without having much of an option as I saw it. Someone who looks as myself can't get much work in a reasonable light, and not many will pay much attention to me.
Davos nods.
So I went where there was work and where people would acknowledge my abilities, and unfortunately that led me down a dark path that I could not get out of until I found an opportunity, and I was asked to do something I simply could not do. The syndicate wanted me to be an agent of theirs and trade human lives for those bonds that I showed you. And that's something I simply could not do. I took the slave women who they told me to trade to the orcs and handed them over to Brother Menlo at the church for safekeeping and to keep them, away from the eyes of the syndicate, and hopefully no further harm came from them. And then I went.
We have not received word of any incidents in Greenwich.
That's great news. I then went and met these orcs, attempted to fool them and try to get the bombs from them peacefully. And when that went south, we ended up fighting, which then we ended up killing them, taking the bombs, and running. And we've been running until we got to the gates here, and we met with you. I've come here to become an informant for the betterment of the Empire, to try to fight the sickness that is the Syndicate that's spreading and becoming stronger throughout the land, and also to ask for protection from them because I know they're going to be coming after me. And to us, subsequently, we are very valuable assets, and we want to help you.
So you were given orders to trade slaves to the orcs in exchange for sulfur bombs, which you have procured here, correct?
That is correct.
Your orders were to return to the Syndicate as quickly as possible, if I'm not mistaken, afterwards?
Yes, you're correct in assuming so.
And if I'm following the timeline correctly, that was 5 days ago since you left.
Right. So they probably have been aware that I should have been back 2 days or 3 days ago.
Very well. We can be thankful for one thing. We have a certain amount of leverage. We have what they're looking for. And he sort of nods his head at your bag. For now, you all will be given shelter at the magistrate here. We'll reconvene in the morning, and we'll have a new plan. Or we'll devise an official plan together. As for now, I need the night to rest on this matter.
If you would indulge me 2 further questions while I still have this spell up, that is partial to the reason why I asked. Are you or your friend in league, friendly, or operating with the syndicate?
Make them charisma saving throws if you want to give them a chance to lie, DM.
They both say, like, standing inside of your zone of truth, they both say, what was the wording you used again? We are not, like, they repeat your wording. We are not in league, in cooperation with, friendly with, or associated with the syndicate in any way.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Smart, though. You said that, and I just, like, the idea came to me, like, do I just do it? Like, do I just override everything and we roll initiative right now? That was a good idea.
Or just make them have public charisma saving throws anyway, just to throw us off.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, you had a second question for us?
Oh, yeah, I think the second question was if you had a different answer than that to the first one.
He gives you a small chuckle and says, I appreciate your thoroughness, but my answer would remain the same. He looks over at his friend, and the man speaks and said, my answer would remain the same as well. And he did answer verbally out loud to the first question, the same response of, I'm not in league with, etc.
Thank you for humoring me. I apologize if that offended you in any way, but I
No, it is only understandable.
Cannot take trust at this point.
I have taken precautions of my own. It is only fair that you would take precautions for yourself and your friends. You've been through a lot. It would be a shame to get this far and have it all go to waste.
Now, yes, your previous request of taking the night on it to rest, I absolutely agree.
We have 2 rooms that we could use to outfit or like house guests for the night. I'm afraid we can't provide you much in the way of a hot meal, but as far as what would be the proper way to refer to like wine and cheese? Is that like hors d'oeuvres?
Tapas, hors d'oeuvres.
As far as like finger foods and
Antipasti.
Snacks, for lack of a better word.
Antipasta is a perfect word for that.
Antipasta.
No, it's antipasti.
Well, antipasta is basically Italian for not pasta, and in Italy, pasta is generally the main course. Or the second to third course, which the third course would be the main course, and the first course is
so
the
it's kind of like appetizers and like finger food.
It's like appetizers and bread and like little rolled meats and cheeses.
Yeah.
Do those mad lads have pasta for dessert as well?
Well, sometimes.
Ew. You just put the grossest image in my head of like rigatoni with chocolate syrup and like
no, actually,
cream.
yo,
like,
I could make you something that has to do with sweet and pasta, and you would love it.
They actually make chocolate pasta.
A
it's
lasagna
not
cake.
flour based. It's actually like gelatinized chocolate in spaghetti form.
DM, do you take psychic damage?
Yes. I also take flat hunger damage because I'm hungry as fuck right now.
Same though.
Yep. I think so. Is Skatha still like shadowing us?
No. Pokeball.
No. Skatha received a summon from, God, I fucking love this name, Catronius Jawsoul, and the last you heard from him, he was heading back to Nuxvar in the swamp.
Sounds like a weird
name. Dragonborn.
Right. Oh, I think we decided that he popped out before we went back down into the
Yes.
the Underdark.
Yeah, I retconned it just because I'm pretty sure he's going to be coming back. He's going to be changing jobs in the next few months, so he will return at some point. So
Where
I
did you
wanted to give
get
him a
that
story.
name? That sounds like it's out of the Key and Peele skit. The East versus West.
Can't remember, but when I started this campaign, oh wait, like the football name.
Yeah.
Fucking cack. I was smoking still when I first started this campaign, so I mean, I can't remember where it came from. Might have been a name gen or something, but I honestly can't recall. So
Yeah, I think Skulker and I, as long as you don't have other motives, Skulker, we can take a room and we can give Kiri a room to herself.
I thought it was gonna be the opposite. I thought Skulker was gonna be like, fuck no, I'm not sharing a room with either of you. And Hero and I would have been.
I mean, he still hasn't spoken, whether
there
it
are
be
2
real or
rooms with 2
bullshit.
beds apiece.
Also,
They
I
are
think-
incredibly sparsely furnished. There's like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a small box, like put your boots in and stuff. But other than that, it is like hay mattress, like thin linen sheets, but it is somewhere to sleep with a roof over your head.
It's not up to me.
It kind of is.
The bunny's not okay with it. I'll have to coax her.
Make an animal handling check.
Oh, I was just gonna grab some more meat, but all right.
You grab some more meat and it works.
I dangle the meat over her, like, come on. Yeah, he's joining us. Get over yourself. Yes, I could command you, but I'm not going to.
So we have Darrow and Skulker as bunkmates.
Yes.
That's surprising to me.
Alright.
You're the girl and you have, like, a dragon.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one of those carries more weight here.
Me either. Just hearing that sentence though. You are a girl and you have a dragon. Like just very matter of factly.
Not a dragon tattoo. A literal dragon.
That would be dope if if I had a tattoo, but then he would just come out of the tattoo every single time I needed him. That'd be dope.
If he was a familiar, that could work.
Yeah, but he's not. He's a real.
Also, if you didn't have feathers, that could work.
It doesn't mean I don't have skin.
Yes, but no one would be able to see the tattoo.
Right, but if you true, but that'd also
would you
mean
have to, pluck the feathers to apply the tattaoo?
Probably, but that would be more metal than getting a tattoo as a human.
Also, there are birds. There are some birds have some types of feathers where if they lose them, they don't come back.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think they're called index feathers. If you clip those, they don't grow back and they can't fly for the rest of their
like whiskers for cats.
Yeah,
Whiskers don't grow back?
No.
Aww.
Whiskers.
So when they lose a whisker,
that's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Whiskers do grow back, stop it. Ari loses whiskers all the time.
Oh yeah, shit. No, I forgot.
Because I know, I found my cat's whiskers around the house, and now I'm just thinking every one of them that I've found is I don't know.
Man.
No, whiskers grow back.
Feeling so sad for your cat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, I'm wrong. It's just that it's very painful for them if cut. They're not regular hairs.
They're very sensitive, so that sharp vibration is ow.
Yeah.
So this is where we're going to call it for tonight.
And it messes with their sense of balance. Oh,
totally
shit.
Fine.
Okay.
I think Darrow might get the first night of restful sleep he's had since the encounter, or since he realized he was being tailed by the Syndicate.
Yeah, I mean,
because he finally feels safe.
This is the safest place you guys have been sleeping in for, I think, literally since the start of the campaign.
False. You're bunking with Skulker.
Oh, God. Alright, well, the building itself is safe. Although, did you guys take a long rest in the Druid Grove? The Fungal Grove? I think you did, right?
Yes, we did.
I'd
I
say,
didn't, I
We
don't think.
didn't know that was safe.
yeah, you didn't know it was safe, but
Because he was watching us the whole fucking time.
And he was
I
giving us
trusted him. He seems like a
hallucination
cool
soup.
dude.
I tried to sneakily, like, whenever I rolled perception checks to, like, without saying it, giving you guys the idea that he was high level. He had, like, a +9 to his stuff, which is, like, a 5 in the stat and a 4 proficiency bonus, and, like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's like level 12.
Yeah, he was, yeah, that
Actually,
was definitely one of the safer places you guys have rested. Now that we're gone, I can tell you that, but...
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back. Now that he's revealed sensitive information.
Dude, chill, bro. Chill, bro was most dope.
Giving everybody hallucination soup that I refused to partake in.
Wait, but we didn't
I will
hallucinate,
say... Yeah, you all passed the con saves.
right?
I will say that
One of us
he
was
is
close.
very atypical of the Drow. The Drow and the Dwergar under Ascalon have like no contact with the outside world, and they operate on a much different. Like there isn't this same like racial unity component that we have on the surface.
Okay.
Just so we're aware. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, humans don't really feel racial. Well, okay, false. We do have like racial communities within family and townships and neighborhoods, but if you had one society against another, they don't really feel bad killing each other.
Yeah.
Well, that's because we don't
Humans
really
are
have
weird,
anything
man.
other than humans. But like, if we did have like races other than humans, like among us, then the human populations would feel stronger together.
True.
Yeah.
Well, there used to be more sentient bipedal races, and we murdered them all.
No, humans are still here. I'm
Yep.
trying, but it's a slow
Right,
grind.
well, the Neanderthals, not Neanderthals. I think Neanderthal.
Australopithecus.
Yeah, was a separate species that was close
Okay.
enough genetically to humans that we were able to mate successfully, but were ultimately different, and we killed them off because of competition.
I feel like that's been cited in Westworld. Spoilers impending if I keep talking.
Probably. I've seen season 1.
Okay.
I saw it in a documentary.
Oh, okay. But
Anyway.
yeah, it's a common trope of anime, the looming idea of like when is the next iteration of human going to arrive, and then they do, and they're malicious and like we're here, and it's our duty to slaughter you all just as you
Right.
did to.
Like
Yeah.
Tokyo Ghoul.
Haven't heard of that one. All right, another one
It's
for the
It's
list.
a good one.
It's a good one.
It's,
I started watching it.
The first 2 seasons are dank. The first season is dank. The second season is slightly less dank, but still awesome. Gets really, really fucking dark if you appreciate dark anime. Season 3 is like a fucking reboot, and I don't understand it, and I only made it through like 4 episodes.
Sounds about right for anime.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Season 2 was incredibly dark, but lovely and awesome, and it told a really great story. And then season 3 came like 2-3 years later, and the main character from the previous season is like different, but it's still him, and they like changed his name, but it's still him, and they gave him like children to deal with. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
The way you're explaining it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to explain it, but not go into detail so that it doesn't actually spoil anything.
I'm gonna stop you there and go watch anime that does make sense. Good session though.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Glad to hear you all again.
Yeah, it's good getting back together.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have my work schedule for next week. At the moment, we will be on and good to go. So
Dope.
that should be relief.
Cool.
We'll break our average.
Peace. All right, catch you in a week.
See you.
Yep.
Peace
Good
out,
game,
guys.
guys.
Love you guys. Bye.
Good game.
Bye.
See you.
Alright, you guys, that will be it for us today. Have a good morning, evening, and a night, depending where you're from, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!